It's Thursday night. It's time for You Call That Radio with Capital 1212.
How do we educate our children to take their place in the economies of the 21st century? How do we do that, given that we can't anticipate what the economy will look like at the end of next week? Every country on Earth is trying to figure out how do we educate our children so they have a sense of cultural identity and so that we can pass on the cultural genes of our communities while being part of the process of globalization. How do we square that circle?
You Call That Radio.
Makes coherent sense.
Good evening. Oh, hold on, I'll get that to fuck. It's the You Call That Radio quarantine stream. It's 7 o'clock, which means it's time to do another show. And this is a belter. Delighted to bring on Capital 1212 onto the show. Before we start, to give you all a chance to comment and say you're all locked in on the lockdown where You Call That Radio, I just thought I'd play a little thing before we start because it's quite a sad day. It's quite a big day for me because the bank has sent me a contactless payment card. And I said I would never think. And now here I am in a situation where it looks like I might have to think soon. So I thought it was only right to start the show with this. Coming up, we have Capital 1212. We're going to be talking about new projects, including doing some stuff with members of Public Enemy, a new Brooklyn radio show, and a residency in Denmark. I'm buzzing for this one. Check this out. Back in a wee minute. Everyone assumes you're going to have a contactless bank card these days. Matt Chip and Pin crew are becoming strangers in our own country. A country we built with good old-fashioned button pushing. The worst bit is when they see you're not going to just dink the thing. You want to waste a valuable 5 seconds of their time by pushing 4 buttons. That look and that moment when they say, "Oh, it's one of they cards." And I respond with, "Yeah, I'm old school, lol." And I hate myself every time I do it for responding that way. Fuck's sake, makes me cringe that I say I'm old school, lol. It reminds me of when supermarket counter staff asked me if I had a loyalty card. And since the dawn of time, I would say, I would probably just lose it, lol. Earlier this year, I got my first loyalty card to stop that cringy conversation. I don't regret that decision, as my points are growing. But I will use all the loyalty points in staying loyal to my Chip and Pin crew. I'll go contactless once you all move to fingerprints and retina scans, because that's what you want to save valuable time. A second saved every transaction. That adds up to 1 whole minute every 60 transactions. Think of all the work you will get done. I will never think. Remember they switched card payments from signatures to PIN numbers for security? Years later, they just went, "Oh, fuck security, let's go contactless." I lost my bank card for a few days there. I got it back. It wasn't contactless, thankfully. How do you contactless people sleep at night when you lose your card? It's actually a good way of staying awake. If you ever feel tired, as if you're going to fall asleep and you have work to do, then simply throw your contactless card into the street outside your window and you're almost guaranteed to stay awake. Fuck the coffee, fuck the uppers, fuck the fucking Red fucking Bull. Simply leave your card on a pavement and get some work done. Because you seem very busy, but I will never think. But apparently it's okay, because it can only steal up to £30 per transaction with your bank card up to 4 times a day and only take 120 quid a day. And you just write to the banks a wee letter and ask them for money. What's in it for you? Why do people want this? I get why shops want it. I get why the banks want it. But why do you want to risk getting bumped so easily to save yourself 10 seconds in a queue? Are you so busy you don't have enough time to put in a PIN number anymore? Are things that hectic, mate? Are they? Aye. Or does it make you feel cool? Do you think you're in Star Trek? Aye. Well, enjoy. After all, they can only bump you 120 quid a day. And you're so busy getting so much work done that I'm sure you'll make that back in no time. But I will never think. I will never think. Welcome to episode 12 of You Call That Radio.
Strange mood about
You call that radio?
Here to tell the people that we hear you. One God will not allow.
You call that radio.
However you want to see it.
You call that radio?
You call that radio?
However you want to say it, that's kind of part of the fun.
Powered by our patrons.
Brothers and sisters.
We are indeed powered by our patrons. Thank you to everyone who supports the show. If you want to support the show, you can do so by going to patreon.com/you call that radio. I hope yous are well. I hope yous are safe. I'm looking forward to this one. An absolute legend. We've got one half of Capital 1212 here. Dave, can you hear me?
Yep, I can hear you good.
Yes, amazing, mate. Thanks for doing the show tonight.
No, thank you.
I've been a big fan of your music for a long time, man. And I
cheers.
don't think our paths have actually crossed properly before.
No,
it's quite surprising the amount of time
it is, and I've seen you guys before.
And stuff.
Yeah, I've seen you guys before, but we've never spoken before, so it's good. It's good, man.
Yeah, man. I'm excited for it. I've seen you at Kilburn, I've seen you at Knockengorrick. So and just you've got a whole raft of massive tunes, man. I've been enjoying it over the last week since you agreed to do it, and just been listening to it. Oh, it's great, man. And I mean, how would you describe your music?
It's a difficult one, isn't it? It's a difficult one. The genre is just sort of a genre.
Use our definite genre hoppers.
Yeah. I don't know. I think the probably easiest way is just kind of sound system culture really nowadays.
Yeah.
We've kind of sort of dabbled in lots, like whether it's grime or garage music, or jungle, dancehall, ska, like just right across the board. But I suppose, yeah.
What was your first love?
Trying to think back actually. At an early age, probably from a very young age, kind of like James Brown and a lot of soul and funk and things. And kind of got into reggae at an early age, and then obviously hip hop as well. Hip hop was the first thing I started DJing and things like that, and trying to make music. It was hip hop, So yeah.
And you're working with some big hip hop acts just now.
Yeah. We have done in the past and stuff. Over the last while, it's been a lot more sort of, I suppose, dancehall and reggae artists sort of late, but certainly still getting in there with hip hop artists as well. Yeah, and kind of trying to put people on different rhythms and different beats, and kind of trying to mishmash it all up a wee bit as well. Rather than kind of making hip hop for hip hop artists and reggae for reggae artists and that sort of thing, but actually more just bringing everybody over. Doing things that maybe they might not normally do.
I think it's a good way to do it, man, because everyone seems to have a bit more open-minded to different genres these days. I think a lot of that's down to in the past you would have to, you would find your own scene, and you'd be having to spend £15 on a CD, so you would tend to pick what you're going to like. But now with YouTube and streaming services, it's people are going to hit play on things that they might not have listened to before. And I think the sound system culture that you get at the sort of the independent, the smaller festivals in Scotland, there's just such a wide array of different types of music for people to get their teeth into.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, that's it. Like, you know, even if like you sort of go to like say a reggae night or you know like a jungle night, even a jungle night, you're still going to hear you know bits of grime or you know like dubstep or you know different bits. So yeah, there's definitely a crossover, and I don't know. For me, I've just always liked all types of music, and it just keeps it interesting, doesn't it? You know, I think if I just had to make one sort of style, you could say, I don't know. I think I think I would get bored. You know, so yeah. I mean, I remember reading reviews for one of your last albums, Mark, and it was kind of the same actually for the reviews. It was talking about sort of different genres that were in your album, and you know the sort of kind of almost genre hopping and influences and things as well. So I think your band is also kind of fits into that a wee bit as well, doesn't it?
Yeah, mate, absolutely. I think we didn't really, we just sort of do whatever feels good
Do your
at the
thing.
time. And I
Yeah,
think that obviously goes against you if you're trying to get a support slot or get a
yeah,
review or get played in certain things
yeah.
because you can't quite pigeonhole it into anything. But I think
Mhm.
going longer term, I think it maybe gives you a bit more a bigger life in music if you're
Mhm.
just rather than just sticking to something that's trendy at the time. And then obviously you'll get all your reviews, you'll get a bit of TV, you'll get all of that stuff. But then once the trend changes, everyone just jumps onto something else and there's a new
Yeah,
bandwagon to do.
yeah.
So yeah, I've always just liked to, you know, I mean, I've also worked with lots of different musicians as well throughout.
Mhm.
You know, Jackal Trees is loads of producers, Gyro Babies is loads of different musicians as well. So
Mhm.
it's always refreshing to hear someone else's new take and then trying to work something on that before. I've
Yeah.
actually I've done a little bit of reggae dancehall stuff once or twice with jumping on stage with Mungo's Hi-Fi, which was
Ah,
a
yeah.
brilliant experience.
Yeah.
And it was just I wasn't sure how the crowd would take it, but it was knocking Gorick, so it's a nice open-minded crowd. And I kind of
Yeah.
just Scottish accent and just did a pre-written. I didn't freestyle because I was too scared to you know, try it out off the top of the dome. But it
Yeah.
went really well, and it definitely
Yeah.
made me something that I really would be interested in doing again. Because
Yeah.
it just feels so fresh when you do something that you've not done before, and it's a really good
Yeah.
feeling.
Mhm.
But let's just see who's tuned in. We got Donna Petrie's Locked In and Lockdown, lads. Nice one, Donna. We've got Petra. I don't care if lolling is passé. I'm using it forever. Nice one, Petra. Petra messaged me to say that because we've got a guy or maybe the full band for Dodgy on next week, and she was saying, "Oh, do you know that Robin recorded them in Teapot Studios?" And I was like, "Yes, I did. I did the name drop, which we do in this show when someone drops a name, and I'll drop the name Robin into Dodgy to say I'm pals with your man who recorded your multi-platinum album." And you've got a bit of a name drop, I think, for a new project you're working on.
Myself,
Yeah.
I can see the name drop at the bottom of the screen. This is a good time to do it, is it?
Yeah, it's the best time.
I think I suppose the thing that we were talking about earlier, like and you mentioned, like was the Razor Gully project that we're doing, like as a side project as well. And the first record came out in video for it as well, with Chuck D and DJ Lord from Public Enemy and Prophets of Rage.
That's probably the best name drop I've had so far.
Yeah. So yeah. We did that, and you know, we're looking at doing another Razor Gully, like a follow up as well. It was kind of it could have probably just gone under the Capital 12 name, but we just kind of felt like it was a wee bit. It was a bit more bass heavy. It was a bit more. It was a heavier track. It was kind of drum and bass, but with like a lot of turntablism and and it just felt like maybe it was good to do a side project with a different name and try and kind of maybe focus on maybe more heavier, kind of sort of darker edge to the music for that, so
Chuck
yeah.
D, I've heard only good things about Chuck D. From anyone
Great.
who's ever came across
Yeah.
Chuck D, he just seems like the real deal.
Yeah, lovely guy. Really, really, really grounded, really loyal to everybody that's that around him, like since day one. Just a really, really nice guy. But I will say one thing actually. He's probably the only person in the world now that he's the easiest guy to talk to, but I still struggle because I'm just like in awe.
That's Chuck D.
It's Chuck D, yeah,
It's Chuck
and
D.
he's so cool. He's calm. He's cool. He chats. He's asking you questions, and I must admit, I'm talking nonsense. Like it's like I struggle like because I mean the guys. You know, I used to have posters of him right across my whole wall. I had a different Public Enemy T-shirt for every day of the week. You know, it's you know,
And now
maybe
he's got posters of Capital 1212 on his wall. But yeah, a couple of my friends I've bumped into Chuck D in New York. One of my mates just happened to be walking down the street in New York, and Chuck D was just walking around with no security and just stopped for a photo. And I heard another one that they went to the hip hop museum. I think it's in New York.
Yeah.
And he just happened to be doing he was just a tour guide, just casual tour guide as well.
Yeah.
And he recently, just a month or two ago, he played Stanley Odd on his playlist. He gave Stanley Odd a play, which must have been amazing for Dave Hook. I forgot to ask them about that the last time they were on the show. But that's a big thumbs up coming from a legend like that.
Yeah, he pays attention. Like when he travels the world, you know, with Prophets Rage or Public Enemy, he really does take in music and culture in every country. Like he's really, you know, when I'm talking to him, I mean, he's like about Scottish politics. I mean, he knows more than most people in Scotland. You know, he's really up on things and music as well and things like that. He really does his research and pays attention. Actually, yeah.
We've got some comments coming in. Shelley says, sounding good, Boydie.
Big up, Shelley.
We've got Amy's on Twitch. Hi, Troops. Shouts to Amy for listening on Twitch, because it actually sounds and looks a bit better if you go to twitch.tv/ you call that radio. Actually, I forgot to tell people that so there's a thing on Twitch that if anyone's got an Amazon Prime account, as part of the benefits of that, you get a free subscriptions to us. So it costs you nothing. If you've got Amazon Prime, you can subscribe to us on twitch.tv, and we apparently get a couple of pounds for anyone who signs up. But it's a month. You need to do it every month. So we've went from having 18 subscribers on there down to 9, because you've actually got to go back and hit the subscribe button every month. It's one of the catches of getting a freebie. So if you are on Amazon Prime and you want to support the show, it's a good way to do it. Shout outs to Amy, who's tuned in. Gordon Ross is tuned in. He says, loving this chat. Is that a rum ting, Dave?
It's a rum ting. A rum a ting ting ting.
That's a big part of the reggae dancehall culture.
Rum, yeah.
Rum.
yeah. It's kind of one of the main reasons why we're involved in it. Yeah.
I remember what's the good one I called again? I'm a wee bit out of touch with rum. Fancy one, because I remember Chris Astrojazz poured me one of the nice rums.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I mean, a lot of the common ones, I suppose, now they've become. It's weird because a lot of the ones that were harder to get are now really easy to get, and now it's more kind of exclusive rums, and and it's like you get a lot more fancier rums and some really nice rums in Scotland now as well. There's one Seawolf rum in Scotland that's really good. That's worth checking, a Scottish one. But I don't know. Ray and Nephews is a big one. And whenever we're doing gigs, we always seem to have Ray and Nephews rum on the rider. And I've got to be honest with you, and a lot of people look down their noses at me for this, but it's too strong for me. It's like I can't drink it. I can't drink it.
Just water it down.
Honestly, it doesn't matter how much you water it down. It's like burns. And I just can't do it. But we did a gig in London, and it was sponsored by Ray Nephews, and we had loads of bottles behind the turntables, and we just couldn't drink it. And I ended up going up to the bar in between songs and ordering 6 rum and cokes of Havana Club or something, just something easier to drink. And I got back down the decks, and we're really happy. We're like, great, we've got some nice rum. And then the promoter came past straight away with a bottle of Ray Nephews and poured it all into all the rums that I just gone and bought. So I ended up even just stronger rum. I could have killed him, to be honest. Yeah.
So all the way, you've got a bit. Where are you from originally?
So Kenny from 1212, the other half of 1212, he's from Glasgow way, but he's lived in Edinburgh for quite a few years. So he's based in Edinburgh now as well, but he's from the West Coast. And I'm from Inverness originally, but I've lived in Edinburgh now for quite some time now as well. So yeah,
you've got to kind of get away. As Inverness is too small a scene really for you to continue staying up there if you're wanting to push your music.
I think, I mean, I couldn't really comment too much about what it's like now because I've been out there for so long. So I know there is people doing some really good things based up there now. For myself and the type of music, and to try and sort of, I suppose, support myself financially at the time, yeah, I did have to kind of move a bit further south, even just for the sake of like the airport and assign some flights and things, you know. So it's yeah, I kind of,
I know Inverness has got the party scene for the sound systems and the sort of pop-up stuff.
Yeah.
And obviously we've played up in Inverness before and we get treated really well. It's a great city.
Yeah, and that's it. I think you know, I have good memories of going way back there, and it was more like sort of like pop-up nights here and there, and you know, and those are some of the best nights, really, you know. But I suppose as far as regular kind of gigs and, you know, income and stuff like that, yeah.
So where have you played? London, that's a big deal. And where else have you been?
Over the years, kind of everywhere really. Sort of done gigs in the States to like across Europe and, you know, I suppose up and down the UK and stuff like that. You know, whether touring or like, you know, DJing for various vocalists over the years, or kind of joining in and like as support act to tours, or doing our own kind of club gigs and stuff.
What kind of vocals you did for?
So over the years, like as far as MCs and stuff go, like I've kind of sort of toured. It's quite a range actually of different people. Like you know, like I've done tours with like say reggae artists like Max Romeo and stuff, like old school artists. You know, like sort of touring and traveling, and then also like people like Dirty Goods, you know, from the grime scene. To like to I suppose like old school rappers like Donald D, who's in the Rhyme Syndicate with Ice-T and stuff. So I was like more of an old school hip hop show across Europe, like, so quite varied over the years, really, you know.
And what was it you're saying? Something about Denmark? You've got a residency in Denmark.
I doing a sort of a kind of club night, you could say, over there, like a party night, I'd call it actually, like over there, like quite regularly. Well, up until obviously recent times, but we'll continue that once things get better. And it's just it was somewhere that I'd never really gone and done music to, and not even a lot of people I know had kind of sort of gone and played in Denmark too often. So it was interesting, and it's an interesting crowd. Like,
we've actually got 2 regular viewers from Denmark as well that tune in, and I've only I've been to Denmark once, but it was only for about 7 hours because we were in Sweden. So we just came over the bridge, and then we just sort of got a wee breakfast there, and then did a wee bus tour. I just kind of checked it out, and obviously that was all I know about it. But it seemed like a very friendly place. I love the fact that cyclists run the world over there.
Oh,
it's quite good to see. It's like, you know, the cars are the bad guys, and the cyclists.
Yeah.
Well, over here, it's the whole attitude to cyclists is, you know, there's only one thing in life that would make me more raging than a cyclist on a road, and that's a cyclist on a pavement. And it's and it's not. It doesn't feel very safe to cycle about Scotland, although it's getting better.
Yeah, but it's still not that safe. No, Denmark is the way to do it. Like, but it's good. I mean, the folks are great. I love it over there. It's great, and it's funny, man, because a lot of the crowd, we've got a lot of the same crowd coming back to the nights, and I was saying to the guys who kind of over there, you know, it's nice because a lot of the music play, actually, a lot of folks don't know the songs, but everyone's dancing and everyone's going for it, and you know, it's like tops off, and you know, like, you know, kind of whistle crew, and it's like old school kind of rave vibes, like, and it's really good fun, man, you know.
We got Sharon in the house. How you doing, Sharon? She says, I love Inverness.
There you go, Schnecky.
Donnie says, big up the Schnecky posse. Raymond Dito says it's got to be Captain Morgan's when it comes to rum. Controversial. And Mary Phillips is tuning in on the Twitch as well. Nice one. What I would like to do is play one of your tunes to give the audience maybe aren't aware of your stuff before. Now, I know that some of your tunes have went out on some sort of bigger labels. So do you think there's anything that we could get on that YouTube wouldn't kick us off for?
Let me think. Maybe a video.
Bonus points if there's a video, because on YouTube that would be perfect.
Okay, go for you could put the Capital 12 Making Disturbances song, because that's I own the rights to that, so tell YouTube to.
So yeah, if YouTube robots, if you're listening, Dave's just okayed
Back off.
This is allowed.
Yeah.
Back off.
Back off, man.
We had Abdominal on the other night, and he
Yeah.
obviously gave us permission, and we got away with it right up until the last song. Then I played
Right.
this hit song called Hit. I think it's called Hit.
Ah, yeah.
Hits, and that was just too famous for the robots. Just was like no chance. But
Yeah.
I spoke to a pleasant YouTube robot who we had it out. We agreed that I would just trim that off, and we're all back. So hopefully this one doesn't get us into the YouTube jail. But so can you tell us a little bit more about this tune then? How did this tune come about?
This one was off the Rudy Nacho album, and we went down and got really drunk at Notting Hill Carnival and shot it when we were down at the carnival. And to be honest with you, the whole day was a blur. But at the end of it, we had a video, and I don't know how.
That's good though. It's good when that happens.
Sure, hey yo, fly, they should know about we. Been killing this shit since we was about 3. Taking it straight to the T.O.P. for the H.I.P. H.O.P. We go for my people in H.L.P. Bang them tin cans, tell them give it us free. Right now, cause we wanna see the outside. Smell the sunshine and grow with the vibe. We don't give a damn about what them fools think. On the stone of the corner, always living on the brink. Life's like sea, that you swim or you sink. My life's like rum, sometimes too hot to drink. I'm more than flammable, overvaluable. Yeah, I'm grown, but still remain malleable. Sometimes you miss, but you gotta take chances. Still hold the line when the enemy advances. Boom! You know how we do. Stress, but still we had breath, so everything's blessed. Mike can pay bills, but you can't find the rest. And that's why we hate having on it, I guess. But anyway, can't let that make an excuse. Make a part for yourself, yes, I'm talking to you. And most of these youths that be floating in cruise, shine by you rioting cause you got nothing to do. These brothers really get me annoyed. It's time to fill the void where men become boys. Stop acting like babysitting, spitting out toys. Government cancel us out by billing androids. Brethren, you never read it in the news. They pass all kind of papers, never check us for views. Oh shit, you're too busy watching YouTube that you didn't realize they were chatting to you.
Dr. John Cooper Clark, do you call that radio?
Brothers and sisters, may the peace that can only come from the one God be upon you. We are here to tell people that we hear you. One God will not allow us and people of conscience to lose our morale. We see the crimes of this government, how they support every dictator and criminal on this earth. Sometimes you can feel down. Sometimes your morale can go down.
You call that radio?
Makes coherent sense.
I hope we're making coherent sense. This is You Call That Radio. We've got a big week coming up next week, actually. I just want to tell you about it before I get Dave back on. So, yes, where is it? I made a thing. Yes, so tonight it's Capital 1212. Monday we've got Jenny Falls, who won the You Call That Radio Poetry Slam. She's the World Champion Poet of the Year winner. So looking forward to speaking to her on Monday. On Tuesday, we've got a local legends special. You might remember we did one a few weeks back. So this is basically open to anyone who maybe runs an independent business or a takeaway or is making stuff from home. You don't need to be local as such if you're an independent business or whatever. We've already got Lisa Mack from the NHS. So feel free to give me a message if you want to get on Tuesday's show and we'll help publicise whatever it is you're doing. On Wednesday, we've got James Endicott, who pretty much was involved or signed every major band over the last 30 years. I'm so excited that he can actually do the show on Wednesday. And on Thursday, we've got Dodgy, or at least Matthew Priest from Dodgy, and maybe the rest of the band will be able to make it as well. And just before one final thing, shouts to the new patrons, Bob, Shannon and Kelly. We're now up to 150 patrons. If you enjoy these shows, then this is pretty much all I do now. So it's really important that people support it, and it's amazing that people have been supporting it. So I'm just going to put that wee link in the comments just now. And we've got some big plans this month. I'll put it in the links just now. So it's this one, patreon.com/You Call That Radio. We're going back to the audio podcast as well as these streams. We're just going to keep these streams going, but we're also going to be having a second season of audio podcasts where there'll be interviews, lots of skits, and it just means I can do things a little bit more professionally. Because right now I'm doing all this myself live. So if I'm doing it pre-recorded, I can add some extra things to add it, make it a little bit better. So we've got that coming up. We've got a brand new green screen coming up. We're working on a brand new website to celebrate a year of podcasting. So yeah, it wouldn't be possible without the patrons. Thank you very much. It's given me a lot of hope that this is actually going to be sustainable. So big up yourself. Let's go. We're just listening to an absolute belter, a tune from Capital 1212. It looks like you've got an instant fan in Johnny Sloan. And Mary Phillips says, brilliant, loving this. I stayed down south for 13 years. Happy memories. And Graham Hepburn says, right enough. So how long ago was that? Did you film that in Notting Hill Carnival?
Yeah, I'm trying to think. Actually, it was a few years back now. Actually, yeah. I can't even remember which year it was. Maybe about 4 or 5 years ago. I could be wrong.
You know, I think years used to be easier to remember when it was 98, 99. I mean, I don't know if it just happens to everyone when you hit an age, but it just seems like 2000 and such and such. After 2001, it's hard to keep track. It's hard to keep a score. It's like these. Although I think that's maybe going to change with 2020. I think everyone's going to remember 2020 for all the wrong reasons, probably.
Yeah.
It'll be like one of those things like who won the World Cup or like who won the Euros in 2020, and it'll be like, trick question. Because it was everything cancelled in 2020. And the thing, obviously, that I'm personally bothered about is the lack of festivals this summer, and I'm sure you're feeling the same way.
Yeah, we had a few good bookings actually, like this summer, like actually. So a bit of a shame actually. There was one or two in particular that were going to be really, really good fun, and probably kind of almost better. You know, like actually we've been doing it a long time, but you sort of feel like you sort of sometimes stand still a wee bit with music after a while, you know. But actually this year, I was quite surprised. We actually kind of got some even better bookings than we've had in the past, which was nice. It was a nice thing. So a bit of a shame that they're not going ahead, but it'll be next year.
It's almost like the virus doesn't give a fuck about our careers, mate.
It's I know it's a bastard. It's a bastard, man. Yeah.
Bastard, isn't it? But we were the same. I was just wanting to focus on recording mostly, but then we got a couple of amazing things we couldn't say no to, like Boomtown was the big one because we've wanted to play Boomtown. And
have you played before? No, you never played before.
That's it.
It's great.
Yeah, man. Everyone that goes says it's the one you need to do. Yeah. And every year we get told we really want to get you, but this year it's not going to work. So this year we finally. I think a lot of that's down to is you don't know when the right time to contact people, because as someone who books for festivals myself, I don't like people bothering me in August for next year. It's like, for fuck's sake, I'm having a meltdown with this year.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it
Yeah.
seems to be getting earlier and earlier. I remember it, you know, it used
It
to be
is.
February, you'd be fine. And now
Yeah.
it's like sometimes November you've missed a
November.
boat because they're wanting
Yeah.
to have something ready, the flyer ready before Christmas to maybe get their ticket sales up before
Yeah.
Christmas comes along. So, yeah, but we got Boomtown, and then I thought because of the Brexit shambles that was going on, it was I didn't really have much faith in there being for at least a year or so. I think it will come back to normal again, but I just thought for a year or two, there's going to be a lot of red tape in order to just play a few gigs at our level. You know what I mean? There's no money to
I've got my Disarm Brexit t-shirt, Mark. Disarm Brexit. There you go.
And was it Tories?
There you go. There you go. We'll get that in there. We'll get that in there.
Yeah, man. I don't really have much faith in our world leaders. So I just assumed that unless you had like the kind of big money to pay for, you know, certain fees and stuff. So I thought let's just make it happen. Let's do a European tour. And we were really close to getting stuff announced, but that's all gone as well.
Yeah.
But it's what it is. There's a lot worse things going on in the world. It's just a bit frustrating because, you know, it's not easy to, as an individual, independent artist, to try and create a tour. It's a nightmare, especially when you've got band members.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
But I mean, how did the States gigs come about? How did you end up in the USA?
Just going over there and kind of just kind of over there for a few different things. Also over there just chilling and stuff as well. But ended up doing some gigs, and I suppose that's where I ended up getting like a few vocals recorded for some of the records as well by a few like sort of New York artists and things as well. So it's just kind of through connections and stuff like a few doing sort of radio circuit, doing some radio shows and stuff. And but it was some really cool experiences, like, you know, just different kind of crowd and different scene over there, really, you know.
It's different. It's like a different place, isn't it? And I've heard that the United States of America is big. It's even bigger than Fife. Can you confirm that?
It's a little bit bigger. It's just a wee bit like it's about yeah. I mean, Creole's about the sort of size of Texas, so yeah, it's kind of it's a bit like yeah. But it's but no, it's cool, man. It's cool. It was like mainly New York and stuff like that. But I've got a real sort of a hip hop kind of cliche kind of story about the New York one. Like, we were over there I was doing like a radio show. It was like a gig and a radio show in South Bronx, and like afterwards we're going back to like a flat, like one of the guys' flats, like for a party, and he also did the radio show from his flat as well, like a pirate radio show. And we were going back in, and a guy walked out the block just as I was going in, and he held the door open, and I said, "Oh, thanks very much," and stuff. And I must admit, I thought he looks kind of familiar, but I just carried on walking. I'd had a few drinks and things. And when I got into the flat where the radio show was, they said, "Oh, did you see Cool Herc? He just left." And I was kind of mad, like the founder of hip hop in the South Bronx, opening the door so I could walk through as he was just leaving. And I just thought it was a kick yourself moment, because I kind of thought, that would have been a good photo opportunity, that one. But
if you did a few drinks, the best way to look at it is you might have just made an arse of it. And then you'd
probably
be kicking yourself at the
because
I've kind of got that rule now. If I'm already wasted, I don't talk to anyone famous, because it's a horrible feeling waking up and going, "Oh my God," you know, you get the fear from talking.
Too many times. Yeah, too many times when people like like backstage when people like you're a big fan of, like, I don't, the amount of crap that I've spoken, and just like, you know, and just. Yeah, it's when you can see people leaving the room, like you know, like your favorite acts in the whole world, and like you can see them all leaving one by one from the dressing room, and it's just you sitting there, and you're thinking, "Aye, it's me."
We got Mary Phillips says, "I'm staying in Fife with my caravan at Petticar Bay."
There you go.
And shouts to Fife. Gordon Ross, can we expect a Capital 12 album called Capital 2020 Home Rumming at its finest? There's an idea.
That's actually pretty decent. That's pretty decent.
It's got to be done, man. Have you got an album in the works that you could maybe just call Capital 2020?
We do now.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. We've got the name for it now, like, but yeah. Maybe we'll call the next EP that. I think we're struggling with albums these days, so we'll maybe do the next EP and call it that.
How do you name things? Do you have fun with it? Do you look forward to it?
Yeah. I think it's Kenny, who I do 12-12 with. Like, I mean, Kenny is the genius behind 12-12 without a doubt. I'm sort of more the looks of it, but at the same time, I think I'm going to take the credit for a lot of the names of the records, like the puns, like they do come to me during the night, like the History of Silence, because of the History of Violence movie that I liked, and things like that. And there's quite a few like that I've come up with, and it's probably my biggest skill.
What I tend to do is I've got a kind of method that I do now, and that's I have the concept of the album in my head, but I try and hold off naming it until the album's finished, and then I pick 3 words that appear in the album at some point that's only said once. So and then every album that I ever do is 3 words, and then pretty much all of them is said once, and it's usually an incidental line at the time when you're doing it. But then in the concept of listening to the whole album, you go, they 3 words sum it up perfectly.
Yeah, that's cool. I like that because I like that from a fan's point of view as well, because when you're listening to it, you can, it might take a few listens for you to hear that words throughout the album, but when you hear it, it's like those little things matter. I think when it comes like connecting to the album, connecting to music, you hear those words, you think, oh, that's cool. I now know where the title came from, like, because it's maybe not as obvious, like, but it's good when you make people work for it, isn't it?
Yeah, I believe in that. But I think that right now it's too much work for me. So the album that well, not the Gyro Babies one, that one does have a concept and will probably follow that theme. But I just want to get a Jackal Trades album because I'm sitting on these brilliant beats. I've got loads of stuff written for it. And I think rather than try and join it all together with a concept, it's just, why not just release an album of bangers and just make it good and stop trying to worry about if that song makes any sense linking with the other song, and just do it and have fun with it. I think that's important as well. I think my favourite artists do have conceptual stuff going on, but there's also nothing wrong with just a bunch of tunes together.
No, and that's it. And then people end up putting on their Spotify playlists anyway, so it gets all jumbled up anyway. It's I think we all spend many hours trying to make an album that flows from start to end, and I'm still a big fan of that. But you're right. For most folks out there, they'll end up being a jumbled mess on shuffle play anyway, or something like that. So go for it.
Yeah. The captain says, so that's the significance of the 3 words. Well, no, that's not why did I do that? Why did I pick the 3 words? That's for another day. That's for a special episode. Why I picked 3 numbers in the first place, Captain. So I gave you a bit more info than I meant to, but that's not the final story. Raymond Dito says 5 so big it's a kingdom. Shazza is in Glen Rothis here as per. Shout-outs to Glen Rothis. And shows a picture of Kenny. Well, maybe we can do that.
I was going to say it'd be pretty weird if I just pulled one from my pocket, like. I've got a tattoo of him on my arm, like.
This is.
You got him?
I think so.
This is good.
I've got a picture you used to. Yeah, I've got it. I've got it. So I'll bring that on the screen.
How bad is the picture?
It's a really good one. I think you both look well. I think you used it later on for this is the original picture that you used for a release after it. So it must have got through your management and censorship department.
This is going to be a debate who's the best looking one now after me saying that I'm the looks, isn't it? This is going to be whether maybe there's going to be
I hope this is yours. Let's go. This one.
Oh, yeah.
There you go. There's a picture of Kenny. Are you happy, Johnny? Is that enough for you?
Does he want to see more?
You need to see more? Well, you need to subscribe to the Capital 1212 OnlyFans account for that.
We will send you pics.
Yes, thanks. He's happy with that, Johnny. He's a reasonable man. He doesn't ask for much. He sometimes asks for stuff, but he doesn't ask for much. So when did you start working with Kenny? How did that come about?
With Kenny, it was when I first moved to Edinburgh. Actually, I moved down here and I started running a club night called Vapors, which was kind of like an old school hip hop night. So we were concentrating on really like sort of the first kind of era of hip hop, like, you know, like sort of pre boom bap, you could say, like, you know, and we were playing a lot of at that time people were calling it random rap, a lot of sort of like rare kind of rap records that were kind of sort of one-offs and limited runs and stuff. So it was quite a niche club. It didn't really take off as far as like a big crowd, you could say, but it was good fun. But I was doing that, and Kenny was running a drum and bass night called Pangea at the same time. So our paths kind of crossed doing club nights at the same time.
So Dave, something happened to your phone? Are you using a phone or whatever? Your voice just went a wee bit. Your camera, your voice just went a wee bit different there.
Right. Do you want me to say it again?
Yeah.
Yeah. I was running a old school hip hop night when I first moved to Edinburgh.
Yeah, the random raps.
Yeah, random raps and old school hip hop, and it was good. We had people like Cool Keith and people like that pass through. Rob Swift from Executioners, people like that, and Kenny was doing a drum and bass night called Pangea in Dundee and in Edinburgh, and he booked myself to play at it, and we kind of spoke to each other quite a lot running club nights at that time, and we just ended up making some tunes for the fun of it. But our first record came out quite quick after that, to be honest with you, even though it was more just for a bit of fun. We ended up kind of signing a deal and putting a record out quite quickly, so that's kind of how it started. That was probably just over 10 years ago, so a while ago.
So what's your earliest video on YouTube?
There's probably loads of videos of me DJing and stuff like that, but you don't want to go and check those out, man.
Yeah, but pretend they ones don't exist.
Yeah, so as far as Capital 1212 videos go, I think probably the first video we did, because we kind of avoided videos for a long time because we didn't really want to do them. The first video was probably the Good Feeling video, actually. Good Feeling.
Let's go for that, man. And also, man, the sound in your voice just went away a wee. I can still hear you.
Yeah.
But because I've got the headphones on, I'm worried that I'm losing a little bit of the voice. I don't know why that's happened. You're right about the phone, says Sharon. Jamie says my man, and Graham says straight out of Drakey's.
True.
So let's go for a Good Feeling. It's an absolute tune, man. I was listening to this earlier. I can't believe that's 12 years ago, man. That genuinely sounds really fresh, man. And I mean that. So well done. Cool. So let's go for a bit of that. YouTube robots, we have permission, don't we?
We have permission. YouTube back.
Give it. Yes, let's go for it.
I've experienced all types of feelings, sexual healing to those that's appealing, knowing to make a move when you're reeling and dealing, or when the crowd's rocking from the floor to the ceiling. But when the smoke clears, the lights just do. Can't seem to get a grip on how I'm feeling for you. Through the loss of the game, sunshine and rain, days I thought I'd never ever see you again. The beat don't stop and I attest to that. That's why I lay my soul down in the soul of my rap. Hearing a fat beat is like a 5-star retreat, taking on the jam without fear of defeat. If love don't kill me, the lack of it will. And if I need a little more, I'll pop a blue pill. Become the man of steel. Start just really will and keep hip hop with me till the end of the deal. Yeah. When I see you, that's why I want you. Come on. The way that I do whatever you want. Whatever you want, baby. Make you feel alright. You want to know. Can we stay all night? I get it. Dark days made me wonder if I couldn't resist. The world spin made me dizzy, but I couldn't resist. I kept spinning with it. With no lows to rest on, had to get strong, so I pressed on to the next song. When I slid downhill like Cool Runners, big brother Mike G told me good news coming in days to come. He said, don't let it phase you, son. There's still time on the clock, still plays to run it. Once you hear the capital 12's beats, rapping will delve deep. That's when I was happy to help keep the focus on the goal at the end
I get a bite, no telling what I can reel in. Can't say for sure, but I get a good feeling.
When I see you, that's why I want you. The way that I do, whatever you want, to make you feel alright. You want to know, can we stay all night? I get a good feeling. I got that G-O-O-D, that F-E-E-L-I-N-G, that good feeling.
I got a feeling for a taste of grace. Have you close so I can feel your warm embrace. My arms around your body, let me set the pace. This ain't love, it's love, but so must be the case. It's a stage of the fixture to put it all in the mixture. Stretch you like a gymnast on a twist and miss. The nice guy for sure, but when I go for the cherry, you know there's guaranteed for more. Good vibes, peace in the air, trees to share. Individualism, cause my condition is rare. Unlike the rest, who to test when it comes to the beat, fly tea and pro fresh the best. Let the groove set the mood, no need for harsh or cruel. Tasty like soul food, forever be cool. Freshly dipped appealing, funk a time from the one of the drum. Good feelings.
When I see you, that's why I want you. The way that I do, whatever you want, to make you feel alright. You want to know, can we stay all night? I get a
You know the feeling you get when you can't stop your hips and your lips took the right amount of sips. Your backbone starts to slip, your heartbeat skips, and then you realize you're on another trip. Life is as good as it gets, from the hood to the bricks, the hills of Beverly to the Crenshaw Strip. I stay high and catch a view with the bird's eye. Look down to the ground and watch the time fly. It's the feeling make you want to touch the ceiling. You just met a Brazilian, she wants to have your children. This year you made a killing, a couple million. Once a civilian, now a hero, not a villain. Got the penicillin, narcotics for the idiotic. Party poopers, buzzkills, getting antibiotics. I'm in the moment, excuse me while I'm crawling. The kid in the candy store and the villain's diabolic.
when I see you, that's why I want you. The way that I do, whatever you want, to make you feel alright. You want to know, can we stay all night? I get a good feeling.
An American psychiatrist called it audio therapy.
You call that radio?
Incredible track there. Hopefully Dave's can you hear me okay?
Yeah, all fine. Is that okay? Can you hear me?
Yeah, man. Yeah, you're sounding yeah,
Good.
you're back, mate. You're
Good.
back. I could still hear you. It just seemed you were just going veering off. It was a little bit robotic.
It was like
getting-
vocoder. Kind of a vocoder
not
voice.
quite vocoder, man. I don't want to say vocoder. A little bit robotic. The vocoder things at this stage of lockdown, I can't really. The vocoder's lost its novelty factor now. So I can't really handle that anymore. But no, it's sounding great, man. So there's obviously lots. You've collaborated with people from all across the world, man. I noticed closer to home, you've done some stuff with Prophecy.
Yeah. Prophecy's definitely been our long-standing kind of collaborator, and right from like our first record, Prophecy was on it, and we're still doing stuff with him, and but then it kind of switched as well. Like Prophecy was like being an MC and being a vocalist for us for our live shows and our records, but then also I was DJing for Prophecy as well. So like for Prophecy's tours and stuff like that and his gigs, I was his DJ doing his solo stuff. So it worked really well, actually. We worked really well together. So big ups Prophecy if he's listening.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And when you're making beats, have you just always got about a handful of projects on at the same time? I take it it's just one of those producers that just kind of you're just making stuff all the time, and then you figure out where it's going to fit in later on.
Do you know what? Actually, we're quite different. I think the way we do it is a wee bit different. Actually, like we, like most producers, if you ask them, like they would have probably 100 beats that are sitting there, or 100 piece of music that they've not used, or unreleased music. Like we've never actually been like that really. We tend to do like one song at a time, and we tend to kind of concentrate on that song and get it done. And normally, actually, it's scrapped and we've got rid of it if it's not going to make it pretty early on. So we've never really had that many sort of like half-used beats. So a lot of vocalists and get in touch with us saying, "Oh, do you have something that I can use for an album?" Like, you know, that you've got sitting about, and we genuinely don't. I think people think we're lying because we don't want to work with them, and it's not that. We genuinely don't. We tend to like make a song at a time. I think we've got some weird kind of OCD, the two of us, and it's just the way we do things. But
so you know, like, your tracks correctly as well. You're not calling it new track 4.
Oh, listen, we do that. Well, we do the versions of that for the track, so we might not have a lot of tracks, but the track that we're working on, yeah, we do that. It's and then it's like you've got 100 versions called similar new track 107, or you know, or reggae hip hop 17, reggae hip hop 18, and it's like yeah.
Lots of people really enjoying that last track. Angela says great funky vibes. Superb, says Johnny. Brilliant, says Mary. High five for Lee. And trippy, says Sharon. And Dave's voice sounds okay now, sound wise. Yeah, amazing.
Thank you, Mary.
Yeah, it's all good because aye, man. So I was just thinking, it reminds me that kind of beat that you did there reminds me of some other Edinburgh Fife legends, Jazz Spastics as well. Have you ever worked with they guys?
Yeah, they were brilliant actually, really good. Yeah.
Proper live hip hop. Terrible name, it is Jazz Spastics, but it's sometimes hard to put them on the flyer. But one of my favourite hip hop DJs in the Slipknot Brothers, I think they go by the name as well. It'd be good to get them on the show one time as well. But when they, you know, I've seen them absolutely destroy the dance floors to people that don't even know who they are. They tend to just come in as just like people are there just for a random hip hop night, and then they absolutely smash it. And they do as well. They're always doing collaborations with American rappers and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So they're kind of like bigger outside of Scotland than they are inside Scotland, which is quite weird. When you think about it.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think a lot of people that like the stuff that we did, like the Good Feeling track, you could say, a lot of the same crowd, they're all big fans of those guys as well. I can see that. Like a lot of people I know, it's the same kind of crowd in a way. So that's cool. Like,
it's that kind of old school freshness, but like it still sounds modern. It still sounds like pushing the boat out a bit, like production wise. But I love it, man. It's I wish I could remember some more stuff. I've got my friend Jonathan. He's a music encyclopedia, and he sorted me out with a whole bunch of stuff for my recommendations for my iPod, which I was very proud of for a wee while. And then it broke, and I've just got a broken iPod with all these amazing tunes. But that kind of, is there anything else you could recommend that I might enjoy if I like that kind of summery, big bass kind of sound hip hop?
I'm trying to think actually. Off the top of my head, like new stuff in particular.
Just maybe that new. I mean, I think the stuff I was listening to was about 5 years old or something like that. And it was, the names escape me is what it was. But I love it, especially at this time of the year. We just, you know, that's why I've got the red face. I've been doing a wee bit of cycling, and my skin can't handle it. So it's just been, but I love listening to that summertime vibe.
Yeah, I quite like the producer, the American producer Exile. Do you listen to him?
No, I don't think I have.
Yeah, he's got a lot of he's got quite a few albums out where he's done with various vocalists, but it might be one vocalist per album. And it's real sort of sunshine, kind of LA, kind of like funky beats. Like I like that a lot actually. I've been listening to him quite a lot recently.
And who have you heard on your travels when you go to new places? And you is there any maybe producers or DJs that we might not be from the underground that maybe we aren't aware of that you've went, they're killing it?
Trying to think actually, like there's quite a lot of people actually. I think certainly up and down. I think from the UK, I think a lot of I think Bristol was absolutely rocking it at the moment again. Like Bristol seems to be one of these cities over the years. When I was young, I looked up to Bristol for all the artists that were coming from there at the time. A lot of the jungle and drum and bass and Massive Attack and, you know, Wild Bunch and everybody from Bristol when I was younger. But I think right now again, actually, the Bristol scene is absolutely huge again. you know,
They just
especially for,
rip up the rule book and throw it in the water like all their statues, man. You can't.
exactly.
I've been to Bristol once. I went last year for a festival that had Lauryn Hill, Grace Jones,
Yeah, cool.
Idols, Fontaines DC. It was like
Mm.
life of a traveling musician means that you very rarely get to just go to things that you're booked for, basically, because there's just not enough hours in the day. But that was one of those lineups where we went, no, we need to go. And I'd never been to Bristol before. And it was just a revelation. What a brilliant place. The graffiti art, everyone was really friendly. And I'd love to go back there. In fact, I'd love to live there, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah, no, definitely. It's a really cool city. I'm the same, actually. It's a place that we really like doing gigs at, and or just visiting as well. And as I say, I just think a lot of there's a lot of I say younger than me artists coming out of there who I just think are absolutely brilliant. Like like vocalists like Eva Lazarus and Gardner. Gardner, the MC as well, who's got an album out now.
MC. I know Eva. I'm a big fan of Eva's stuff. I think did Eva just do something with Mungo's Hi-Fi?
Yeah, a whole album actually. Yeah, a whole album, and it's absolutely brilliant. Like it's really good.
To my shame, I've not actually heard it yet, but I was really excited about it getting released and the hype, because I think they actually launched it in Glasgow at the Berkeley Suite, which I don't know if you played the Berkeley Suite yet.
Yeah, we played we played Mungo's night at there, and it was a great night, man. It was actually probably one of my favourite nights of, would it be last year? It was probably one of our favourite gigs. It was just such good fun, like
Yeah, they've done a great job, and Berkeley Suite's one of those venues that most people don't even know exists, because they don't open it up as just a pub, or they don't open it up for any random night. You need to, whether it's techno or it's a Mungo's night, it's basically they're very careful about who they get to curate the nights, and as a result, you've just got this kind of it's almost like a free party vibe that occurs. And people are there for the music, and shout outs to Mungo's Hi-Fi in general for all they've done, man. Tom as well, such a nice guy.
They're all lovely guys. They're all absolutely brilliant, and they champion so many artists as well. Like they champion so many new artists and up and coming artists, and they really help a lot of artists make a name for themselves. Actually, like they're generous. They're generous with.
Well, yeah, they've opened up all these gates for other people, and rather than slam the door shut, they're giving people the keys to the gate, and sharing their contacts, and man, got to give them credit where it's due. And every time I go to bed, if it's Thursday night and it's in Glasgow before the lockdown, obviously it's a case of if someone wants to go somewhere, it's like let's see what Mungo's are up to, because I think. Vixen Sound and Tom have been taking over Tom Spirals have been taking over the kind of booking side of it, as far as I'm aware, every week. But they're still keeping on that rich pedigree of quality artists and a good crowd.
Yeah, and that goes without saying as well. Actually, we're talking about Bristol and things, but actually much closer to home. I never like to call like artists younger artists, because I don't even know what people's ages are. But I think compared to me, because I'm feeling a bit of a dinosaur, they're certainly younger than me. So. But like Tom Spirals, Vixen Sound, Escape Routes, a lot of the reggae artists coming out of Glasgow and Edinburgh and Scotland are absolutely rocking it worldwide. To be honest, if you look at the tours they're doing, in India, South America, I mean they're absolutely taking it to next level,
And and it's good to see Vixen Sounds and Tom Spirals especially. I think that they're just. Got that. It's you need skill, you need luck, but also you just need that work ethic and being willing to just keep doing it over and over again and playing all these brilliant places. I've seen videos with Tom playing it about 60,000 people in France, and you're like, holy shit! But
he rules it as well. He rules the stage when he's on it. Tom was you talked about Boomtown earlier, Boomtown Fair. Tom. The last time we played Boomtown, Tom was our vocalist for it actually, and Tom's just got so much confidence on stage, and he's a lovely guy, and he rules the stage. He knows what he's doing, and we did a record with him actually last year as well. We put out a single with Tom and Cheshire Cat at the same time, and he's doing it. He's doing his thing.
I think Tom's just one of the people that. needs to be some sort of rock star. I can't see him with a normal job. Do you know what I mean?
No, no,
It's just-
no.
he is music, and music is him, and I think they'll be touring around. And he still is. I mean, I think I would consider him young. I mean, I'm no
Yeah.
spring chicken myself, but he's
Yeah.
definitely young, and it's amazing to have achieved all of that at his age, because the world is his oyster. When if
Oh,
you've
yeah.
already done that, it's incredible.
Yeah.
With comments we got, Angela says Bristol was brilliant. Worked there for a few years. Great for music. Absolutely, like just right from when the trip hop scene, the Massive Attack, were all, and Tricky and all that. That stuff was really important to my development of kind of, I was either into indie music or I was into techno, and the trip hop stuff just showed me something beautiful, and it was also good for a few joints and when the stoner days as well, and it just made me think about music differently. So shout outs to that. Sharon saying hiya to Morag, because Morag said hiya. Hiya Morag. And we went there and danced with Holly Cook, says Morag. It was, I think that's Berkeley, at the Berkeley Suites. Had amazing leggings. Did you have amazing leggings, or was that Holly Cook who had the amazing leggings? But I mean, that's the thing. I mean, hopefully, I would assume that place at the Berkeley Suite will be okay, because that was a venue that would sometimes only do a few gigs a month. But it's a worrying time for venues that relied upon drink sales and higher fees in order to continue. And I mean, how's things in Edinburgh? I mean, is it pretty grim up there just now?
Yeah, very grim actually. I mean, I think Edinburgh's been grim for quite a few years as far as venues closing because of the usual noise pollution complaints from people who have moved into flats, and venues getting closed down to be parking lots, and it's been grim for quite a few years. But I actually think in the last couple of years it was starting to get better, and there were some new venues popping up around, especially around here where I am, around Leith. There were some really cool venues starting to pop up where bands could play of different sizes, and it was starting to get somewhere again. And I was feeling quite optimistic, but whether we'll have to see how many survive really, because there's no income coming in,
Well, actually, I'm worried that the only pubs and venues that can survive are people that are corporate machines already, that have enough money in the bank to survive, and then buy it all up. So I mean, the last thing we want is a UK full of Weatherspoons and terrible nightclubs, but that is a very real possibility. So I don't know how it's going to happen, but when lockdown the easings get restricted, I don't know what the future is and how we can support the venues, but I'm imagining it's going to look very strange. I think it's going to be a case of, I think the Icebox, which is a cool bring your own bottle. It's a record shop in a venue, and they were looking at the regulations the other day, and they're saying that I think their capacity is 140 or 100, but based on the size of it, I think that they can have, looks like they're going to be able to have 15 people in the room and 4 people, maximum of 4 people on their stage.
Right.
And that is quite depressing to think about.
Yeah.
But it might be though that if we can somehow find a way to stream it live to people, we can maybe all buy a ticket, watch it live, and maybe have a lottery for the top 15 to actually go and see it. And although it does sound depressing, 15 people spaced out, but 15 people will be spaced out, I'd imagine, if it's the first thing after lockdown. But it's also, it's if that's what it is, and if you've not had a gig for a few months, then that will still be quite fun to watch a private audience.
Yeah, I think also it's about, we're all going to have to think, like everybody involved in the industry is going to have to think about things a wee bit going forward as well, because everyone's in the same position. Artists need paid, but promoters also are out of money as well. Venues are out of money. I think, everyone's going to have to think a wee bit about going forward and about negotiating and being reasonable, I think, and trying to get the ball rolling again and trying to get it all working again. But actually, I don't think there's going to be any room for greed from any of those parties going forward. There probably never was, but certainly going forward, it's going to be about people working together more and negotiating, how it can work financially, I suppose, as well. Because if one of those parties is asking too much. It probably just can't happen right now, you know.
Well, I mean, if you're only going to be allowed to sell 50 tickets in a 300 capacity venue at stereo, then I think the promoters will be the first people to go, because you won't need to promote anymore.
I know.
When I say promoters, I don't mean people like myself or independent promoters. I mean the big guys. I don't know where the big guys fit into this new world at all. Like,
I know. I couldn't actually say either about how they're what their struggle is compared to the smaller guys. I suppose I don't really know. Yeah.
If you're only going to need to sell 50 tickets and you're a band that would normally sell out a 300 capacity, then you'll be able to sell that out with a share of an event. A quick, we're playing that. So it's also, it's about, I suppose another way that it might go is that they'll just raise the price. So in order to pay the artist and the sound engineer, they're going to maybe have to charge extortionate amounts for tickets, which I don't have a problem with, because I think that on one hand, I've not got a problem with it because the artists still need paid. If they're traveling as well, they need to pay. You're not going to get your free travel from ScotRail. You're not going to get your free hotel from the hotels. But at the same time, what you might end up having is an exclusive, only people that can afford gigs, which would be a horrible thing, and especially for
that sounds horrible. That actually sounds like my worst nightmare. A bunch of yuppies in a room who've got loads of money. Yeah.
Just in the crowd, which sounds awful. But in the same respect, as someone that used to go to gigs all the time, like whether performing or just as a fan, I'd be going to like 4 or 5 times a week and paying £10 a ticket if I wasn't in the guest list or whatever. So maybe I would be willing to pay, even though I'm pretty skint, I would still be willing to pay for a gig I wanted to go to a bit more to make sure the artists get paid.
Yeah.
You're just picking a good one and making that your big night out.
Yeah, no, I'm with you on that, and it's certainly, I mean, that's what we really want, isn't it? We don't want it to end up becoming like a exclusive to like people who can afford like higher price only, like you know what I mean? It's you want people to be able to get in there, working class people, and to be able to relax and unwind after a hard week, and I would hate it for it to become more exclusive because of limited numbers and higher price tickets, but I think if everybody works reasonably and negotiates and all works towards the same goal, I think eventually we'll get back on track and things will become more normal again,
And we need to figure out how to do the stream it. We need to figure out the compression, because right now I'm sharing some of your videos in this platform that I'm using, the StreamYard, who have been great for doing, being able to multi-stream to 5 different channels at the same time. And it's been excellent for the chat. But when you have, as soon as you play a YouTube video, the compression is ridiculously bad. And when you try and do something live, it's bad as well. But I know there's a lot of talented, intelligent people working on how to fix that. Because I think if you could get a really high quality sound and the interaction with everyone, I think we could create something brilliant for a live thing. But right now, it's like when you're watching your pals, I mean, I still love watching my pals just DJing in the house.
Yeah.
But at the same time, how good would it be to have that high quality audio through your a good sound system, and you could actually you would actually be there, and you could and everyone can connect in real time in the comments.
Yeah, streaming has been a nightmare actually over this lockdown. Like I keep talking about DJ sets. I'm talking about specifically that first week. I mean, the first week of lockdown, it was like everybody hadn't DJed for 100 years. It was like you couldn't get away from DJs streaming online, and and I must admit, I actually kind of thought, everyone kept saying to me, "Oh, you're going to do a stream like DJing wise," and I was thinking, man, I've been DJing out every weekend like for the last 15 years. Like I was actually quite happy to have a break and not have to do it. And then I started getting itchy feet, and I was a bit like, sorry, okay, I want to do a stream. But everyone's streams that I kept seeing go up DJing wise was what you said. It was either not good quality or they were getting things taken down because of copyright. And I just thought, oh, this seems like a minefield to get around just to play some music. And I don't understand it. I don't understand. DJs, since the start of DJing culture, have broken records, have made artists by playing their records, have done record labels a favor by playing for free their music and getting it to a bigger audience. But all of a sudden, it seems to be frowned upon by labels and copyright, as if like DJs are doing a bad thing by playing that record. how are the general public going to hear it unless DJs play it? You're giving the people who own the copyright free promotion. I don't understand it. I don't know why there's all this copyright.
I think it's because we've got middle people like Facebook, YouTube, who are, so record labels have made deals with them, and so the problem we've got is I seen someone I think was having a little dig at me, and people like me for playing things without a PRS license. First of all, PRS owe me a shitload of money. PRS can fuck off as far as I'm concerned right now. I'm actually going to phone them up and let everyone hear the shit they tell me. So I've not got much sympathy for PRS.
They owe me as well, Mark. Listen, their website to try and get money back and to try and claim money. It's kind of almost like, okay, have I got 12 hours to sit and try and get this money back for a few radio plays? I don't know. Life's not. Life's too short. Like, you know, you give up. Like, you know.
Yes, I do know. I give up for about a year, and then I go, I better get on to these guys, and then they just send you around in circles, man. And I think the main problem is if Facebook would just see if Facebook, they've got enough money, and I think it'd be a good PR stunt for them with all the money they've got. It'd be a drop in the ocean for them to just say, right, if you play something so if I play a Capital 1212 record on my show, you get your pennies that you would get anyway from it getting played. You get the promo, maybe it just comes up on the screen. You know what I mean? It's at the end of the day, it's not like you're using the song illegally for a short film and not giving any credit. It's just you're playing tunes and you're letting people, your audience, know about the tunes. So if Facebook just started paying people, then I think that would solve the problem instantly. And I think Facebook should be very careful because they think that someone's going to spring up. I mean, I see Morag saying dodgy streaming. I mean, there is going to be eventually an independent website where you're just going to be able to play everything anyway.
Yeah, everything. And it'll be high definition. And every DJ around the world will sign up to it and people will tune in. And it's going to end up becoming a multi-million-pound business. And people will use it. And yeah, they're missing a trick. They're missing a trick.
And the same thing happened, I remember, with SoundCloud when they get bought up by the PLC. And they started making corporate decisions rather than music. It all changed, man, overnight because SoundCloud was a place I used to like putting up a demo. And we used to get lots of good feedback from producers and DJs of all genres saying, I would do this, I would do that. And now we're very lucky to get, you know, instead of getting 1,000 plays a song, we get about 100 unless we promote it at the right time. And it's because all the producers fucked off and went to Mixcloud. And the problem with Mixcloud is that it's just still a bit clunky as an app. But Mixcloud are paying the artists. So Mixcloud, I've got a really good chance here of taking even more DJs and producers and building a thing. Sharon says Street Rave were good. And Mary Phillips is enjoying the chat. Morag says Leith Depot will be back.
Leith Depot. Yes.
Leith Depot always seems to be about to get shut down, and then the people rise up and say, "Not an art."
Exactly. That's because people love it. That's why. People of Edinburgh love it. Like it's a great venue, great staff. It needs to stay. It's just around the corner from me. It's about 5 minutes from me, and it's an amazing venue, and just. It's exactly what Edinburgh needs, like, you know, and also for tourists as well to come and have a good night out as well and bring people to the city. It's a proper venue.
I wish I'd have a later license because that's the only thing I found about Leith when I was the difference that I've noticed in Leith from being 16 and going to Leith for the first time. I've always felt welcome at Leith. It feels like a wee bit like Glasgow in a weird way. It just feels like just a wee 10-minute walk out the city, and then you've got real people, real Edinburgh people, that, you know, because it was affordable. I know it's not as affordable as it used to be, but it's got great bars, a nice mixture of old guys pubs and sort of cool sort of hipster bars going on, and Leith is such an exciting place, you know. So hopefully Leith can bounce back, man. It needs to. Colette's in the house. Shouts to Colette. Raymond Dito says, check out the amazing Bristol band Cut Capers. Was really hoping to catch them. I know the name Cut Capers. I do know the name. But you've also got such an amazing hip-hop scene in Bristol as well. People really... there's just so much good stuff happening there.
And I suppose things like that, Idols as well, you know, like the band Idols from Bristol as well.
actually their Q&A with Alan McGee just before lockdown. It was maybe the last night I was out. Before
I went to the Edinburgh one actually. I was at the one in Leith. The one in Leith. It was really good.
I think Charlotte's tuned in. I think she had a spare ticket for Edinburgh. But when I found out he was doing it in Glasgow the following week, I just went to that one instead. And I did ask him a question that we did record for the podcast. I don't want to say too much, but it'll be on the beginning of season 2. Cool. You Call That Radio, because if people don't know that You Call That Radio was actually an audio podcast before lockdown began, and it's on Spotify and Apple, and we're bringing out season 2 hopefully this month some point. Tam the Van's got a good point. They could have 15-minute slots per 15 people, and that's not a bad idea.
Yeah,
you just get your. I mean, it might be a wee bit trickier for DJs, but if you're a band, I mean, my band could certainly just get the best 15 minutes of a set. Shit, starts filler anyway. It's the last 15 minutes. We're waiting for everyone to get in, and then
same for DJs. Same for DJs, Mark. We could just play the last 3 big bangers of the night over and over and over and over. That'd be cool.
But I reckon the smoking section would look like a Black Lives Matter protest, though. You know what I mean? You'd have people actually. I mean, that's the thing as well, man. I think if we're just fingers crossed that there's not going to be a second wave, but between all the protests that have been happening recently, all the people on the beaches, and basically all that Dominic Cummings chat and the way that Boris handled everything, they basically said the lockdown's over, go and have a party, and not so many words. And now people haven't really been taking it seriously at all. So if there is not a second wave in 2 weeks, then I think you're talking about there's going to be a lot of free parties happening within 3 weeks.
Maybe, yeah. I suppose people are just waiting to see whether what happens, aren't they, in the next few weeks? You know, things might move faster than we think as far as getting back to gigs and stuff. You know, it's hard to know.
I think it's just if you're in the big festivals, like there's still 1 or 2 big festivals still holding on, and I admire their patience and their optimism, but it doesn't look like you're going to get a big festival or even a small festival this year. But you've got places like we've still got a gig offer in Poland that's apparently still saying that they think it will happen, and then I've heard that Croatia are still talking about doing the big one in August. So, and if that is the case, then everybody's going to go to Croatia in August the 15th, because I suppose there's certain countries that have just dealt with things better that might be ready to do it. Yeah. It's a bit of a risky one, but at the end of the day, if the government decide, fuck it, let's do something for tourism, it's a bit risky. But we don't know without more data and info. Maybe it's not that risky for people in their teens and 20s and 30s to be going and having a party. We just don't know what's going on. And as a performer and a promoter, I've just been waiting to get more information about what is actually going on. Because at the end of the day, you want your crowd to be safe. Everyone comes to our gigs, I kind of know on a first name basis pretty much. So you want everyone to be absolutely safe.
Yeah, there's a responsibility there, certainly. And I think, it's I think throughout this whole thing, as an artist or as a promoter or anybody in the industry, it's definitely been either a time to kick back, or it's been a time to, with the pandemic I'm talking about, with the pandemic, it's definitely been a time to either shine or kick back, or like you say, there's been a few artists that I've lost admiration for because of of them still going out and doing streams where they're surrounded by 40 of their friends in the first 2 weeks of lockdown, and you're thinking, idiots. You know what I mean? Idiots. Why would I be a fan of watching you do this? It's when everybody else is kind of keeping lockdown.
I've just had sympathy with people, because I think that there is a lot that we didn't know, and also if you're leaning towards certain theories and certain things, then it's quite easy. And also, it's your livelihood on the line. So if your livelihood's on the line, you're going to be more inclined to believe information that suits your opinion. And we're all guilty of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I've been quite consistently fuck the Tories since the beginning of it all.
Oh yeah, and, But that's quite right though. That's quite right. Yeah. I think.
Anything I read, everything I read, always I just kind of sort of cherry pick the information that says fuck the Tories.
Yeah, I suppose my wife was working in a Corona ward right from the start of the pandemic, as a nurse. So I suppose I was hearing rather than what I suppose the government were putting out there or the newspapers and stuff. I suppose I was hearing what was going to happen as she got home every night. So I suppose that gave me a wee bit of a different insight, you could say, about about how bad it was, particularly at the start. Yeah,
well, it was getting. I mean, a lot of people were saying, "Oh, you're just listening to your government." It's like, no, the government were underplaying it. They were saying, "Oh, it'll be fine. It's going to be okay." But the evidence we're getting from other countries and scientists and doctors were like, it's not going to be okay. And sadly, the world leaders haven't attracted the keenest or the kindest of minds. So these are people that just want the economy to get back working again.
Yeah.
So you've got to take every bit of advice they say with a pinch of salt. However, if they bring back a gig or a festival anytime soon, then I'll probably be up for checking it out, to be honest. So because that's just information that you want to hear, that information bias that we're all guilty of. But I said it at the start and I say it now, fuck Boris, fuck the Tories, just listen to the doctors and the scientists, and like you said, nurses and COVID, how bad is it? I think we're going to put on another wee tune. It was one I listened to earlier on, and it reminds me of the festival. So this weekend, we've already missed Knockin' Gorick this year. Sadly, Eden Festival would have been on this weekend as well. Another great place to go and for music. And this tune I've heard getting played at all the festivals. It's hold on, where is it? It's right here. Here we go. Don Man Sound.
Yeah, cool.
Featuring Tenorfly, the J-Star remix. Can you tell us a little bit about this tune?
Don Man was a single we put out with Tenorfly, who sadly passed away a few years ago. And that was kind of one of our big kind of crossover tunes and one of our first sort of bigger tunes that kind of got played on Radio 1 and various places. And it's actually been re-released a couple of times. It kind of came back a couple of years later on Runting's label, and they did jungle remixes of it. And it's actually, I think it's okay to say this, it's actually, it's going to be coming out again, another release over the summer on a new label with some new remixes and a kind of updated version. So,
but the fact that you said you weren't sure if it's okay to share that, then I mean, that means I can use the exclusive banner.
There you go. exclusive, yeah.
And, it's an absolute banger of a tune. It just reminds me of, in various tents over the summer, because it does get a few good spins out. So enjoy this one, ladies and gentlemen. Hit the share button and let people hear this. It's an absolute genius track.
Soundboy dead. Man zone, and its own test till we keep that down. Want the gun down, I want the show down. Tell them I saw it, everybody sing around, boy. Bad zone, gunman zone, and its own test till we keep that down. Want the gun down, I want the show down. Tell them I saw it, everybody sing around. We have kill sound from way back when original foundation, true born legend. Some sound just come and never go like I say. It's not how much tune you have, but how you play them. And a pure boom tune up when fling after them. If a fix when you watch and know we have them. Your face could have ring, or your face could have bent. You must have find way, but we don't pray that it we have bad sound, that man sound, and its own test till we keep that down. Want the gun down, I want the show down. Tell them I sound it, everybody sing around, boy. Bad sound, that man sound, and its own test till we keep that down. Want the gun down, I want the show down. Tell them I sound it, everybody sing around. Kill a song boy with a dub plate chop. The boy I run up for your mouth with a one bag of chat. You love it, this up, you love it, tell him hold on a second as a matter of fact. Have you ever meet the dance and seen a place back with not 500 people never cause a roadblock? And every dub that you play, then beg you play back. You broke up my son, you get a dub plate shot, boy. Hot sound, that man sound, and its own test till we keep that down. Want the gun down, I want the show down. Tell them I sound it, everybody sing around, boy. Hot sound, that man sound, and its own test till we keep that down. Want the gun down, I want the show down. Then my son is on the body sing around. When the some boy come test me, I felt it like a curse. Like a curse! And he can't even tell me what the dub plates are play our word. What is not all that glitters is gold? Well, if you test my sound, you're reaching a 6-foot hole, and you're not gonna say freedom's light. Some boy, a sound I got dead tonight. E-I-E-I, my sound, that man's sound, and it's on test and we kick that down. Want the gun down, I want the show down. Tell them my sound is everybody sing around, boy. My sound, that man's sound, and it's on test and we kick that down. Want the gun down, I want the show down. Tell them my sound is everybody sing around. And the sound just will us kick that down. My son is the #1 champion sound will sit on the throne. Kick down the king and take away the crown. You know, that sound dead. Bad man sound.
You call that radio?
You call that radio?
What back to the people who hated on me?
Right, and then I say the disinfectant that knocks it out in a minute.
That's mad, isn't it? It's mad, isn't it? Is this a Netflix thing?
It's actually a podcast.
What the fuck's a podcast?
You know, it's kind of like a radio show.
Oh, that radio!
Yeah.
And is there a way we can do something like that?
I couldn't help it.
By injection inside or
Yeah, I think so, because I think just paint in general, because I think like my poem is in my painting.
No, cut. You call that radio? We're live here with an absolute legend, Dave from Capital 1212. What a tune, mate.
Thank you. Yeah, and big up J-Star on the remix. Yeah.
Absolutely, man. I mean, when you listen back to stuff this maybe like over 5 years ago, does it feel like can you look at it more subjectively?
Yeah,
objectively? Yeah.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think I think so. I think as you know, when you're making music and that, it's probably the same actually. I think everyone's the same actually. When you're making music at the time, you listen to the song so many times in a row that actually by the time it comes out, you maybe listen to it once and then then you have a good old break from it really, if you can, because it's just pickled your head. And was the snares right? Was the kicks right? Was everything right?
Dave, I'm going to interrupt you there because your voice is doing that thing again. So I'm going to kick you the studio with love, but sign back in. This is probably just a good time to thank everyone who tunes in, and you don't need to be a patron to support just by hitting the like button on this right now if you're on Facebook, or sharing it, hitting the share button if you're on Facebook. If you've got a Twitter, sharing the YouTube link on Twitter. Just whatever you do, just sharing people or telling people about You Call That Radio. We've been doing this pretty much every night since lockdown began on March the 23rd. And we've had a great response so far. We're building a thing, and thank you to everyone who's helping us build it. Dave, I think you're back.
I'm back, man. Is that okay?
Yeah, you're back. Yeah. It's like, if it doesn't work, turn it off and put it back on again.
It's the golden rule, really, isn't it?
So, what's another question then? What was there any tracks that you heard in your childhood that just blew your mind and maybe just gave you an inkling that you maybe wanted to get involved in music yourself?
Ooh, yeah, probably, man. Actually, quite a lot. I always have a memory of back when there was like 4 channels on TV. I couldn't tell you which channel it was. I imagine it's Channel 4. I have an early memory of being up very late at night, and Showtime at the Apollo used to be on. I think it was on Channel 4. The Showtime at the Apollo, the theatre in Harlem, used to be on the TV show. And I always really liked it because actually I've started to see a lot of early hip hop groups on there. And I was very young at the time, but you could see things like Houdini and Run DMC and people like that playing. But actually it was James Brown came on and sang Try Me, one of his more slower ballads. And it just blew my mind. And I went out and bought lots of James Brown tapes after that. So it was actually his ballads that kind of grabbed me at a younger age rather than his harder funk stuff. So, like that definitely grabbed me. But then also, as far as DJing going, I can completely pinpoint it down to it was Jam Master Jay with Mary Mary by Run DMC.
Wow,
yeah, I can pinpoint it to that actually. When I saw that, I thought I need to get turntables, and I ended up getting really rubbish turntables and trying to miming the scratch over it because I didn't know how to do it for about a year and a half, pretending I was Jam Master Jay. So, there's various things.
A bit of your own beatbox, like.
No, nothing as cool as that, Mark. Just actually my hand above the turntable, pretending I was doing the scratches because I didn't know how to do
it. Where do you sit on the debate of vinyl versus recording? Vinyl versus CDJs or
I really I'm not going to lie to you. When technology first started coming in, like Serato DJ and stuff like that, I was a bit of a vinyl purist, and I used to be a massive vinyl collector. I still buy vinyl, but maybe not to the same as what I used to. I used to go traveling just buying vinyl, but nowadays it really doesn't bother me at all. I think I used to be a bit of a snob. I used to be a bit of a purist, and that's all completely gone. I wouldn't care how somebody's playing music out now, DJing, or how they're buying it at all or listening to it. It just doesn't matter to me anymore at all. It's just, is it a good song? Is it a bad song? Are people enjoying it? That's all that matters now. I think I've maybe it's a maturity thing. I don't know, but I
think it's a bit. I think it's a bit of that, but I think it's maybe there's obviously lots of mature people who would still disagree. Especially the mature ones, actually. To be honest,
actually, yeah, that's true.
But I think it's maybe there's an element of there was sort of an ignorance to it. At first, it's like, oh, you're just you've got a button that beat matches for you. So that's not the real thing. But then I think we've all witnessed one of our DJs that we looked up to that that can do vinyl, that they can mix live. And then they've just, by using a controller and Ableton, they've created this incredible show that they're doing live. And there's just so much more you can do. So I think once you see someone that's, is good enough and has paid their dues for being a vinyl DJ and embracing this new technology, then I think that's where I just sort of started going, no, well, at the end of the day, well, if it's that easy, you go and do what he's doing. Go and do what, Richie Hawtin's doing or something like that. It's like...
Exactly, yeah. And also, I think it got to the point as well, around the same time, you had to change with it because you weren't going to get any new music to play out because all the songs that you liked weren't getting pressed on vinyl or anything like that. So, you had to kind of move with it. And personally speaking, when I'm DJing, I use Serato, but I'm an idiot. I'm just an idiot with it. So I haven't updated it since probably the first time it came out. So I really am using it just like it's vinyl in a way, but with MP3s or WAV files because I haven't updated it, and it's an old laptop, and I'm a dinosaur, so I am using it like vinyl. So it's not really that much different. I've not got all the extra kind of samplers and stuff on my laptop for it, so I'm using it kind of in the same way. But then I see other people, like you talk about, DJ Jazzy Jeff. He's using it, and he always uses the most updated technology, and he's still rocking it like he did in the 80s and the 90s. And it's still so much skill, and closer to home. People like Nasty P, you know, in Edinburgh, Nasty P, like he's great on it. He's great on it.
About we're going to get him on the show soon because that's a very talented dude.
Yeah. And although I'm using it more like final, you could say, because I haven't updated it, so I don't have all the extra samplers and all the echoes and everything else. You know, like Nasty, he uses all these functions, but he uses it in such a turntablist style and like almost like producing live as he's DJing. It's a massive skill, you know.
So yeah, that bit's a really good point. It's the first time I actually thought about what you said there about there's so many brilliant tunes. So with the technology advancing, you've got so many people making incredible music in their bedrooms that might not be. And there's in the record label, there's less record labels that have got money to afford to risk on these new bedroom DJ guys. So you've got this amazing music that fits perfectly with your set. It's not in vinyl. So what you're going to do, not play a song just because it doesn't fit. And then also the other problem as well is there's not artists aren't getting paid enough. So if you're going to have to pay for a vinyl pressing, a rare vinyl, and you're going to have to carry that stuff, you know, you need a driver if you want to have a drink, if you don't drive. So there's an a physical problem with having to carry all your vinyls especially if it's just going to be a gig, you're doing it for a few free beers. Because if you've got a few free beers, you can't drive home.
Exactly, yeah. And also, actually, like I used to carry crates and crates of records as well as turntables, a mixer, speakers. Like we did it old school, you know. We've done all that, and I kind of feel like actually a lot of people, you know, like a lot of purists are going, "Oh, that's the way to do it." It was a pain in the arse, man. Like, I mean, I didn't want to carry all that stuff and break my back every weekend. Now I can take a laptop. I'm happy, man. It's like I'm saving my spine. Like, you know, my spine is important to me. And it's easier. It's easier, and you're still rocking the same party. You're still doing the same thing and getting people dancing. So it's I'm cool with it. Whatever people want to do. If I turn up and somebody's playing off one CDJ or whatever they're doing, if I like the tunes and it's tunes I've not heard before and I'm enjoying it and they're being creative, then good on them.
Well, that is the point. At the end of the day, your job as a DJ is to bring the party and get people dancing.
Yeah.
And you know, I've seen lots of DJs in the past that are big name DJs that are just they've tried to play one of their hits and the crowd haven't responded to it, so they just switch it off after about 30 seconds, 40 seconds, and play something else. You know, because it's your job is to get the party bouncing, and how you do that is based on skill and being aware and just taking the temperature of the room, sort of thing.
Yeah, definitely. That is it. That's exactly the way it is, and like having Serato and things gives you more tools to your belt in a sense, because like you say, you've got all the songs of old, but you've got all the songs of new as well as dub plates and edits and remixes that you've done yourself that week to play out. So it's definitely the way to go. I'm somewhere in the middle, as I say. I use modern technology DJ out, but I don't really use it in the same way that a lot of like the turntablist guys use, or I'm not hitting all the reverbs and echoes and stuff, but I'm somewhere in the middle of it, and it's cool. I enjoy it.
What advice would you give to anyone who's thinking about becoming a DJ or producing their own music at home?
I suppose producing at home, I think maybe link up with people who are already doing it, because I think like all music in a sense, like in all learning instruments, it's the same thing. I think it can take a long time to learn basics, but you know, obviously linking up with people, it can really fast forward that, and you can get to doing what you want to do a lot quicker by sharing knowledge. So I think definitely linking up with people. Production seems to be quite a lonesome thing sometimes compared to playing in bands or playing drums or bass or something. But I think changing that up and actually producing with other people and learning quicker that way, and DJing, just find your own style. It's been the same since the start of DJing, really. You know, whether it's been through the disco period or hip hop or whatever it may be, jungle or house techno. It's really about finding your own style and just having fun with it. Really, just have fun and not be afraid to play things that you think are really good and might be risky to play to a crowd, because it'll either maybe bomb or it'll be the best moment of the night. Just do it.
Absolutely. Just do it. Brilliant advice. Oh, I literally, as I said that, Lou said brilliant advice too. We've got the party hats for Michael. Tam the Van's asking me if I've tried that pad yet. I haven't, Tam, because I've just been here every day practically. But do you know what? I've decided that I think I'm going to move the show from Monday to Thursdays. I swear I might change this, but I'm thinking about doing the show Monday to Thursdays and maybe interviewing 2 people a day, so that I've got 3 days to chill out and work on my own music. And it's what Tam was, he gave me a loan of like a machine, like a pad. And I've dabbled in it, and it's a lot of fun. But obviously, it's just going to take a bit of practice, because that's the trick to everything. Unfortunately, is practice makes perfect, and that's what I tell people that are getting into writing: just keep doing it, and you'll just get better at it. And that's what I need to take my own advice, and when I'm working with that, because I love the idea of, with Jackal Trades, I don't like playing to a backing track, so I end up bringing a band. But because Jackal Trades isn't really as well known as Gyro Babies, there's not as much money going around. So then you're asking people to commit to something that's not going to pay them properly. And once again, you're carrying all your gear, and it's difficult. So I would like to be able to use a machine or something like that to just add a live element to, maybe relying a little bit on backing tracks, but bringing in something live that people can see that you are doing a live thing as well.
You're doing something. Yeah.
I've seen people like B. Dolan and Sage Francis. They're really good at doing that. The majority of because they're so also just amazing live performers, they guys, they don't miss a beat, they don't miss a lyric, they're just so good at what they do that they can get away with a backing track. But they've usually got a CDJ or something that they're in control of. They can maybe just rewind it, or it just gives a live feel to it. And the majority of the crowd don't really know what's going on anyway. But I think if you just show that you're doing something live, then people get into it. But I did, there was a couple of gigs we actually played in Inverness, and it was a really bad weather, and we had one of our band members was in London, one of our band members was in Helensburgh, and it was going to be quite a almost dangerous journey in that weather. You know what it's like up that road, man. And it was like, for the sake of like a few quid, it wasn't really much. So I went, don't worry about it, I'll do it myself. And by having my own laptop, it was better than taking a USB, because by having my own laptop, I had, once again, like we're saying, much more tools to use, much more songs to use, and also being able to put like a classic song as my intro music. Do you know what I mean? And just being able to just decide on the night, right, this is the tune I'm going to walk on to.
What did you go for? What did you go for, Mark?
I think, if I remember rightly, it would have been, what would it have been? Funk, soul, Motown, definitely in that world, because it just felt like I got the temperature of the room. They were definitely not there. I think there was about maybe 10 people there to see Jackal Trades, and there was about another 40 people enjoying their pint. It was Saturday night in Hootenannies. Is it Hootenannies? The upstairs one. And I was like, right, well, let's just start with a pure classic. So it might have been James Brown, to be honest. It might have been something like that, but just something that, because I think funk, soul, Motown is it's something that all the generations can agree on.
Yeah.
And we usually do that a lot when we do the Gyro Babies gigs. We do after parties that go until 4 a.m. And for the first hour, we usually get someone to do funk, soul, Motown, because it makes everyone just sit around and get a drink. Because I don't think it might not be your thing, funk, soul, Motown, but I think that we can all agree that it's not offensive in any level. We can all it brings back good memories of growing up or being out partying, and I think it's the one music that all generations can say
that they all like. Yeah.
And also, it's very strange. There's not many people that can replicate that sound. With all the technology we've got these days, you would think that, but it's just that I think there's a couple of exceptions. Melissa Kelly, shout outs to her. She's got
Daptone Records as well. You know, they've done a good job with Sharon Jones and things over the years. You know, and everything. You know, but they're recording on all the original equipment and recording gear and everything else. Well, you know, to get that authentic sound. So you know, they're definitely purists in that way as far as recording on the right gear. You know, to get it. You know,
but it's really interesting that you get all these amazing singers who have got brilliant voices, but then they try and do that Motown thing, and it doesn't sound like their voice. It sounds like they're imitating. You know, it's almost like that X Factory. You know, that X Factor voice, that lassie that goes on stage and she just sings amazing, but she's singing someone else's voice. Melissa Kelly's an example of someone who sings with that Motown voice, but it's definitely her own Motown voice, which is great to hear. Who we got here? We got Leo Murphy's in the house. How you doing, Leo? Yeah, Freak Out.
Freak Out.
Le Chic, everything about that's great. Yes, great groove. We got some going back to your last tune that we played, man. Loads of people were loving that. Johnny Sloan says loving all the melodic loops in the songs. This is banging, says Lou 23. Well done to your wife, yeah. Salute,
yeah.
key workers.
Hero. Yeah, definite hero. Yep, yeah.
And Graham.
Oh, Graham. Graham's in our horn section. Yeah. So big up Graham, like, and Graham's we were big fans of Scarsols, you know, from
oh yeah, no, the Scarsols played gig for the Scarsols.
Yeah, brilliant band. I mean, absolutely brilliant band in Scotland, like, and one of the best live bands about. And I ended up
Greenock boys.
Yeah, Greenock, yeah. So I got in touch with them when we were looking. We used to get different people do our horns and things like that. And I suppose going way back, we used to sample horn sections. But I got in touch with Graham and the Scarsols guys to say about using their horn section as our horn section in our recordings. So they've gone on to do a lot of our horns in all our previous records, actually. So yeah, it's been great.
Yeah, the shouts to Scarsols. We played a brilliant gig. The only time we ever played King Tut's, actually, because we don't really work with DF. We've always been independent, but we only agreed to the gig because Bomb Scare asked us, and the Scarsols were playing too. Actually, someone shared this today. What's your Greenock name? Graham, if you're still tuned in, it's obviously a lot of jokes that I don't get. Sure that's Martin Comston. It's January, what month we were born. But I was laughing because I seen the Catman, which I don't know if you've heard of the Catman of Greenock, but
no.
Rumours going on if that's true or not, and it's hard to tell if the Catman's for real or not. But people tell me the Catman is real. Let me know in the comments if the Catman's real. I've seen the videos. Apparently, is a real guy. And then there's just lots of other cool stuff going on there. I think Palace is a Chinese takeaway as well. So
right.
I'll put that in the comments in case you want to find out your own Greenock name.
Yeah, we went out because I used to play in a band as well called Cradle to the Rave as well, from the Cradle to the Rave with Kenny from 1212. It was his project really, and he was recording like from Cradle to the Rave albums. It was like a drum and bass punk outfit, and ended up releasing a couple of albums, and really, really good. And when he was putting a band together for live shows, I ended up joining the band, and we actually played Greenock, and it's the only time I've been to Greenock, and we played with Scarsols, and it was their Halloween night that they do. Graham can probably correct me if I'm wrong about this, but they did a Halloween night every year. And I went along, and I've been at Halloween parties just on a personal level, and I thought, okay, there might be about 3 or 4 people dressed up in kind of crap outfits at a gig, whatever. And I turned up, and the whole of Greenock was out, and they were in the best outfits you've ever seen. It was like they had spent all year putting their outfits together. They were absolutely amazing, and it was just mind blowing the effort that people put in, and everyone just partied it up, and it was an absolute brilliant night. Like we really didn't know where we were going to play or what it was going to be like, and it was just one of those nights that was just like a really, really fun gig, like, you know.
Brilliant stuff, and I think you got lucky as well because the Scarsols were involved in it, because places like Greenock or any small town in Scotland are always it's a risk. It is a risk, you know, and I think we've got quite a good ratio as well, because I want to play other places, you know what I mean? It's there's no point in playing Glasgow all the time. In fact, if you play Glasgow more than once every 2 months, you kind of you've kind of ruined your thing. You can't be playing the same venue all the time. So shout outs to Greenock, and then Graham's just got back to say local legend talking about Catman.
Yeah.
It was and Sharon remembers a song called Catman. Speaking of cats, this is earlier on in the conversation that was nothing to do with that. Luty3 says, my cat's hiding under the bed. Does anyone know if there's actual cat crack or catnip in those Dreamies cat treats? I don't know the answer to that. I mean, Dave, do you know the answer to that?
Yeah, there is.
Yes, there definitely 100% is. No doubt about that. Well, see, with the Cradle to the Rave thing, when I shared that you were going to be on it, Holly, who books at Boomtown, commented on the thing to say that she loved. She asked if you were a member of.
That's right. Yeah.
So was that like a cult following you had for that?
I think so. Yeah, it was. As I say, it was quite. We ended up doing a couple of tours and things like that. But as I say, it was mainly. I mean, it was a band. Like it was a full band that was put together, and as I say, it was mainly Kenny from 1212. It was his project in a sense, and then he took it live on the go. But I mean, I don't think Kenny will mind me saying this. Like, I mean, I was always impressed, especially at the time that it was coming out. At that time, there was a lot of focus on artists. I remember there was all these seminars and there's all these things because social media really just kind of come out, and how do you build a new fan base and how do you sell music and all that type of things. And actually, Kenny, I don't think you'll mind me saying this, he didn't really go down that route or do much of that. But yeah, actually, there was people around the world who seemed to really enjoy the music and got hold of it, and it was like probably a cult following is probably the right way to say it, and a very loyal following actually. Not a massive audience, but the audience that were into it were like really, really into it. And we're getting emails from like Alaska and different places saying, when are you coming to Alaska to play gigs? I love this music. And really, we only did we did quite a few gigs, but not many. So it wasn't like a touring band all year round. So But good music, and I think it stands up the test of time as well. I'm proud to have been part of it. It was different.
Which song do you recommend? Which song? Let's maybe put one on. Because I'm not familiar. Only I played one of your tunes when Holly mentioned the band, and I checked it out and I really enjoyed it. But I just picked the first one that came up on YouTube.
Yeah, I'm not sure actually. I'd probably just go for any random one on YouTube actually, and just see actually, and because they're all
got a video. Lust has got a video. Go for Lust.
Yeah, go for that. Yeah.
Okay, well, just before we do that, we're going to just catch up with the comments a wee bit. Remedito says, "Try your cat on Weetabix licks. That stuff is kitty coke." Dave Hook's in the house. Dave, we were just talking about you earlier on.
Dave. Yeah.
We were about how Chuck D played you on his playlist, because we were mentioning that Capital 1212 have also had the honour of collaborating. Angela says, "Great show tonight, really enjoying the chat." Petrus enjoying the show. Well, thanks to all you guys for tuning in. We couldn't do it without yous. And Lou23 says, "A raving bubbles, Mark, like your ideas Flaming Lips stole." Yeah, man, I don't know if you heard, but Flaming Lips stole my idea, and it happens all the time in this show, but I kind of stole the idea from the Strutter bubble, which was Mike Strutter had a show on MTV. I think it was probably 2006, I'm guessing. And he just would hang about in a bubble where he would be able to drink and smoke in it. And then Flaming Lips have actually done a gig with everyone in bubbles. And it's the first time that we've had a social distancing gig that actually looks fun. Everybody's floating about in their bubbles. Because some of the other ones, man, I seen one from Holland. I didn't share it because it was the Daily Mail that reported on it. But it was a rave, but everyone's sitting in a seat 2 meters apart. And it's not really what it's all about, man, is it?
Yeah. I know I'm struggling. I don't want to knock anything because people are trying their best to come up with solutions. But on a personal level, some of the ideas that are coming out of how we can rave together and how we can party together aren't really doing it for me. But I hope they do it for other people, and I hope people enjoy doing it. But I think things like I've seen things like drive-through.
Well, Electrical's doing the drive-through, and at first I'm like, that's going to be terrible. But at the same time, I still want to go to the drive-through.
Yeah,
because I think Electrical have got the track record to make good stuff.
Do good,
It might be good. It might actually be good, but it just seems like really. But at the end of the day, it's the same with live streaming. We would choose not for having live streaming, but it's all we've got.
Yeah, you got to make the most of things. You got to make the most of things, don't you? Yeah.
Touching on the Cradle to the Rave idea as well, it sounds similar to my band, which is we've got fans, passionate fans all around the world, but you can't just go to Alaska to play to 2 people.
Yeah.
Unless those people are willing to pay all your flights and accommodation, then let's make it happen. Because I want to go to Alaska. I'll play Alaska.
Yeah.
We don't need paid, but we don't have enough money to pay for the flights.
Yeah.
So the idea, if we can just nail this live streaming thing, that even when things do go back to some sort of normality, how good would it be able to do to a high quality visual and audio experience to play to all your fans around the world in one go? That would be great. We just need to sort out the technology. But let's play Lust. So this is one of the side projects.
Yeah, from quite a few years. It's a few years old, but
it's an old one. It's an old one. So it's not the new sound, but it's a sound that people still comment about. Like Holly commented saying that she wanted to book these. So let's check this out. Let us know in the comments what you think about it, and I'll bring it up on the screen.
New York? Ouais. Mais de quel New York tu parles? C'est ça la mode à New York? Tu te fous de ma gueule ou quoi? On dirait un punk. Rigole pas!
yes, we are here live. I should call that radio. There's a few folk talking about statues in the comments earlier on. Oh, I've got Dave Capital 1212. What a tune, by the way.
Aye, different vibes from us, I suppose. But yeah, man, stuff we were proud of, man. It was good. It was good times with good people, man. So it's a lot of good memories doing that stuff. And actually, that was a fan video. Actually, one of the fans put that together using the Hain, which I thought was quite cool. One of my favourite movies. So that's cool, man. Yeah.
We had a comment earlier on about the statues and where I stand on statues. Right, this is a statue from a Gyro Babies video. Tearing statues down. Don't talk to me about statues. That's Clyde. Do you remember Clyde for the Commonwealth Games?
Was that who it was? Right, I don't remember that. No.
Well, it was a Glasgow thing. There was about 20 all around Glasgow.
Right.
19 now, but loads of comments coming in. That was amazing. I'd be going mental.
Cool.
Great tune.
Yeah.
Great video. It's so relevant to what's going on today.
Yeah, very relevant. Actually, a lot of lyrics like "Cradle to Rave," like certainly very relevant to now. Actually, like very much so. Like yeah, unfortunately, things haven't changed. Yeah,
history repeats and history repeats. Yeah. Wayne's always had the bubble thing. You've turned the Waynes against us, Sharon. Well, maybe Wayne did. See, to be honest, the Flaming Lips, I was only joking because I love the Flaming Lips. I think they're one of my favourite bands of all time. And I was actually hoping to meet them because Colin and Mustard were on before them at Playground Festival. And I sometimes do a wee tune with Colin and Mustard and the Dijon 5. And I think Flaming Lips would have loved them. Absolutely loved their vibe. So and also I know someone who knows, there's a very good friend of Flaming Lips I actually met in Sweden. A friend of mine's cousin who actually has been with their film photographer for the last 20 years and said that they're just sound as fuck and they'd be up
I've heard that
doing the podcast. So yeah, man, I would love to interview the Flaming Lips for the podcast. So if you're watching, I don't think you are, but if you are watching Flaming Lips, I was only joking that you stole my ideas. I stole the ideas from the Strutter bubble, but I think that's the way forward. If we're all in bubbles, it would still be funny as fuck rather than all, we got Loki3 says was about to tape the same brilliant video in tune. And as for the statues, man, I mean, it's quite weird that people are passionate about statues. That's weird, but people being passionate about arsehole statues is a strange one.
I mean, I'm actually I'm surprised they lasted this long, to be honest with you, because they should have been torn down many years ago, to be honest with you. Wealthy scumbags put them up at a different time. They should have been taken down a long time ago, because I can think of a lot around Edinburgh as well. It's they need to come down. They were horrible, disgusting, evil people, and we shouldn't celebrate them, and they need to come down. And actually, on the flip side, statues then need to go up of and be more diverse. Statues of people. Where's all the female statues as well around Edinburgh and Glasgow and elsewhere? They're all white male statues. We need it to be much more diverse, and people from different races, different cultures, and a lot more female statues as well. It's all around Edinburgh. It was all white wealthy male statues, and I've actually had an issue with it for a long time. I was in a building about a year ago for a conference, and it's owned by the surgeons. It's still a surgeons hall, you could say, and the surgeons still go there for, I don't know what they do in there, what surgeons do in there, I don't know. But round about, it was just all statues. And we actually commented about a year ago, it's all wealthy white male statues. And it was very uncomfortable, actually.
Well, that's it. They're saying that if you take them down, you're taking down history. But it's like, it wasn't like they weren't put up there to point out the bad or the finer points of slavery. They're put up there because they were rich, to celebrate rich success. And
Yeah.
so I won't shed a tear if they get pulled down.
No, I mean, I'm happy
there's-
going out there and pulling them down. Actually, man, I'm happy going out there myself and pulling them down. I've had problems with them for many years, and I think it's time. It's time to get rid of them all and put up statues that are positive and more diverse. And I don't know why we have these people looking at us as we walk down the street. These statues, they're disgusting and they need to come down.
And there's people out there making excuses, the same people that make excuses for a policeman. They're like, oh no, the policeman accidentally killed the guy. And then these are the same people that say, oh no, we need to keep the statues because it'll ruin history. And the thing is, we don't learn history for statues. You weren't sticking up for history when the libraries were getting knocked down, when austerity was destroying our history departments. You don't care about history. You just care about the fact that this is happening. And fuck the statues. These are arseholes.
They're arseholes. The people who like the statues are racist, and they like the statues because it represents what they represent. And that's what it is, actually. For the rest of us, we want the statues to go. I mean, at the end of the Second World War, one of the things they did was they went around Germany taking down all the Nazi memorabilia and statues, and they crushed it all to the ground. And there was a reason they did that, because it was it was a reminder of evil and something not to be celebrated. And it's exactly the same here. I'm just surprised that we've gone till now without whatever writing on it, graffitiing it, pulling it down. I'm surprised it's gone till now for that, because I've been walking around these streets of Edinburgh, seeing these statues of slave owners and the street names named after them, and it's been making me sick for many years. And it's the same when I visit Glasgow. And there's a way of still knowing about your history and making sure that doesn't happen again. But you don't need to have a street name celebrated and named after an absolute scumbag. It needs to change.
I've actually got a wee song about it that I did in 2014 that somebody commented the other day when I shared that I was doing Union propaganda or pro-Tory propaganda, which is ridiculous, because I've just been consistent with fuck the Tories since I was a child, because I was taught fuck the Tories. And I've not ever budged from that. And so if you don't mind, it's all right to play one of my tunes just a wee bit.
Go for it, yeah. Do it.
I'm not going to play the full song. I'll maybe fast forward that. But we used a bit of it, and so okay, I've got it. Okay, let's just play a wee bit, but this was a tune that I did in 2014, because it was quite weird though. What is a good thing sign though is that it's surprising to me that people didn't know that Glasgow has a history of slavery that for a lot of things. So it's quite good that everyone is now for the first time going, oh, is that right? And so this is the tune.
Like at the end of next week, every country on Earth is trying to figure out how do we educate our children so they have a sense of cultural identity, and so that we can pass on the cultural genes of our communities while being part of globalisation. How do you square that circle?
Essentially, we mentally construct an endless melody. A medley meddling plays like Emily. See Emily play like a heady memory. The 60s were all hazy, now they self-about to medicate. Prehistorically predict predators and mediators. Lines drawn round acres on various equators. They frowned upon debaters and they rounded up the haters. And anyone opposed would be slandered off as traitors. Some get sold off to slave ships where they had to make shit, taking hits without a hint of a future payslip. And peasants brainwashed into prejudice, propaganda, hatred. Before they took our jobs was a basic racist statement. Competing with free labour is improbable, and face it, we've all been replaced with the complicated, automated for the uninitiated. Machinery's our favourite. We destroy a new science every time we innovate it. The odds are slim of you finding the funding. The prospect's grim unless you're hiding the working. Technology's a broad thing if you're holding the string. All they bring you out to pastures is the fat lady sings, because when your truths are useless, they find it non-conducive. They fruit with the root of it. The ruthless get intrusive. They don't want
to lose it, and you're rocking the boat. You have freedom of speech if you're talking it low. Cognitive flow, blow hot or cold, the taps of droughts in the age of information. We pass laws like cast-offs from the Iron Age, no blast-offs in the rocket race. Here, Plato's allegory rolling round Socratic caves. Maggie Thatcher raves, got them rolling in their graves. Britannia waved the rules, so Britannia ruled the waves. Places like merchant cities paved with the handiwork of slaves. From the Jamaica plantation to the triangular trade. See, took our jobs, who did? The robots. We're a slave to technology that makes us worse off. Robots are robust, workers that don't take much days off. Big shots hit the jackpot and the purchase mugged us off. They took our jobs, who did? The robots. Exhausted lies about utopia that can't be untaught. Promised dishwashers before they stole our critical thought. Computers get better job offers than pros are left to rot. Scotland's hands are red from the blood money cost, but we ignored those thoughts and threw the salt there in the wars. The sins of our forefathers not quite forgot, like a guilty dirty dish in a sink under cloth. It's bonkers the way our freedom's taken off us and talked down to like a biscuit tin from Cookie Monsters. Imposters moonlighting the sun, flares with awkward offers. Kept in order and grateful that you get to keep the coppers. Top is rotten to the core. We Stockholm syndrome's got us always wondering that something worse must be round them corners. Resentment no forces like a warm can in the water storm. Damage in your jaws, the calm before the slaughters. It might not always be not us. Home or away, we need good neighbours for our sons and daughters. Pathetic authors became awful plodders. Now austerity has got us and the robots took our jobs as we blamed the immigrants who had already lost us as we took a liberty, a land grab and our resource. They cut the cord, said no visitors and slammed the fucking door. We want our passports to take us anywhere we want, cause we think we're a lot better, cause it's what we've been taught. MLK showed peace can complete many complicated feats. Rosa Parks sat down and put her feet up on the seas. Yet history repeats and history repeats. For every fleeting victory, a million more defeats. We're getting sick to the teeth of being kicked in the teeth. But freedom is slavery and war is peace. It's echo chamber double speak. But who am I to preach? It's another slavery boy using the slavery of speech.
The problem is they're trying to meet the future by doing what they did in the past. And on the way, they're alienating millions of kids who don't see any purpose in going to school. The problem is that the current system of education was designed and conceived and structured for a different age. I believe we have a system of education that is modelled on the interests of industrialism and in the image of it. We're getting our children to education by anaesthetising them.
I got you. Yeah, he's 1, 2. 1, 2, 1, 2. Yo, this is Charlie Tuna from Jurassic 5 live and direct here in Glasgow, Scotland, and you call that radio?
We upon you. We are here to tell the people that we hear you.
You call that radio live with Dave for Capital 1212.
Yes, man.
Yeah, sorry, just playing that one. It's funny listening back to that one. I was obviously dipping my toe in at the MCing, but that's one that I've played live so many times now that I'm actually quite good at doing it live. But then hearing that, it's not at its best. Sound Thief in the beat though. What a producer is Sound Thief.
Yeah,
he makes a good beat. Brilliant, Mark. You should do a song together. Well, I'm up for that anytime.
Yeah.
Great, Mark. Brilliant lyrics. Play it all. Relevant, bro. But I think back then it was like there was a real concerted effort by the media to blame everything immigrants when, in my opinion, it was like, well, all the jobs are going because it's getting sold out to cheaper countries, or robotic automation is coming in, and yet we're getting it's divide and conquer, basically. It's divide and conquer.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah.
Ugly statues of ugly people, says
Yeah.
Fuck the statues, says Sharon.
Yeah, fuck the statues. Yeah, agree, Sharon.
Lou says, I'd be more surprised that we still had the statues in the first place too, and I was so educated on them. It's probably the most shocking thing. Well, it's just we don't get taught it at school.
No,
you know what I mean?
And some of the statues even round about close to me, some of them, I've been disgusted by for years. But actually, I'm the same as Lou's comment there. There's some across Britain and some as well around Scotland, which I didn't know who they were, but you look into their past, and it's equally disgusting and equally evil. So it's bringing a lot of light to the statues and the street names and the things that have been celebrated in the years of evil people, and it's time for it to come down. The next generation and the younger generation, the kids, they shouldn't be brought up looking up at these people, because that's the thing. The statues are up high. It's about looking up at them. Yeah, and it shouldn't be that way. They should be taken down and demolished. Like, it's not a good role model for new generations either to see those either.
Well, maybe the one exception to the rule should be Wellington, who's been getting the piss taken at him in Glasgow with the traffic cone for the last time. Maybe that's one that we could keep, because it is quite. Or just put traffic cones on them. Maybe we don't need to tear them down. Just put a traffic cone on them, make them look a bit silly.
Yeah, mock them. Yeah.
John McCreel says, first time I heard it, class. Yeah, well, it's Jackal Trades. Check out, it's Need the Characters album. It's off of. We'll do a show about Jackal Trades music. I'm still trying to figure out how to get the sound quality better for tunes, because I did a Gyro Baby. I've been doing a couple of Gyro Baby specials where we play video after video and then talk about them. But it's all right if you're having a mostly conversational podcast and then you play the odd song, but the sound quality is not good enough right now to do it. Sharon says, don't, you're making me want to put Idols on.
Yeah.
Well, Idols, we were talking about Bristol earlier on, and what they did was they created the scene, and also it's also good to see people a bit older than me finally making it.
Yeah.
And just like after working their ass off, not changing or watering down their message. And also, I didn't get a lot of the Idols hype. And if you're sitting there going, I don't quite get Idols, then that's perfectly normal. When you go and see them live, you get it. It's a proper live band.
Yeah.
Full credit to them. And you'll hear what the guy for Idols thought about me when I asked him a question. That's coming soon in season 2. So just to wrap it up a wee bit, man, what is coming in the future, and how can people check you out?
I think I don't know. I suppose check our Instagram and Facebook and stuff. I think a lot at the moment actually we're not really promoting ourselves too much at the moment. I think we're trying to actually help amplify people's voices that need to be heard right now, more so than our own. Like, like Black Lives Matter. As far as rather than self-promotion in a way, it's we're kind of but I suppose if you're asking kind of what we've got coming out, we weren't even going to record it. I suppose this is kind of interesting in a way, I think, but we weren't really going to record too much this year. Kenny's working on a solo project, which is making quite a lot of noise. Equals is drum and bass project, and it's getting a lot of hype at the moment and doing really well. Which is great. And I suppose I've been doing things like my radio show on Brooklyn Radio in New York. I've been doing like DJ mixes and doing regular shows on Brooklyn Radio, and it's been fun because I've been able to kind of do different things each time. So one might be like an old school ska and rocksteady mix. The next one will be a grime mix. The next one will be a drum and bass. They're all very varied. Like, actually,
how do we check out the Brooklyn Radio show?
Mixcloud, actually. They're all Mixcloud. They go out live and then they're on Mixcloud afterwards. So there's quite a few up on Mixcloud, which you can check, and there's kind of something for everybody, actually. But it's kind of going back to old school making mixtapes kind of vibe. It's not really like any talking. It's actually kind of getting back to actually doing kind of DJ sets and recording it and kind of doing more concept mixes, which is something that I always did when I was younger. So that's cool. But but myself and Kenny are actually recording a new 12-12 song and some new stuff during lockdown, which we never planned to do. But we started doing it not because we wanted, what's the next level? What label can we put it out on? That sort of you're on a mission to kind of get music out and to make a name and to make none of that. We didn't give a shit for any of that. We actually just started making music during lockdown just to support each other during a difficult time and to spend time together on Zoom, making some music and being creative and having fun and I suppose being there for each other during a difficult time. And we've started making music because of that reason only. And it's actually sounding really good and we're happy with it. But there was no sort of big mission this year to make a record or put it out to get more gigs or nothing. We weren't interested this year, but we have ended up making it because of purely the reason to spend time together and do something creative during a difficult time. So I think that's, to be honest, to me, that seems like one of the coolest records we've made, to be honest with you.
Amazing stuff. Sharon says, I've not done the Zoom thing yet. We've not really, I've not really done it yet either. I don't think I have done any Zooms as of yet.
You're doing well, both of you. You're doing well, man, because I'm zoomed out, man. I've been zooming everybody, and I've got to say, the problem with Zoom is you drink on Zoom, you tell people your secrets, you do things, and then you forget that we're actually all getting out lockdown and you've got to see them again. And I'm starting to see people I've done Zoom with and they're like, that night that you told me your big secret.
Well, I'm doing the same on StreamYard, and I'm doing it to not even my friends, just random people. We're getting about 1,000 hits on Facebook and about 200 on YouTube and Twitch. So
you're going to regret that.
Oh, yeah, I'm not really going to regret it, because if I hadn't done this, I would have no money to live and pay the rent. So it is what it is. It's a new normal. Gordon says, saw Idols at Alexandra Palace, first in the bill, Maccabees farewell gig, Mystery Jet support, Idols stole the show by a million miles, and I left through Maccabees set. Great band, man. I mean, you don't want to go on after them in the last 2 years, because it's just a band that just hit their peak. They're at their peak now. Maybe they can even get better, but what I seen their Bristol homecoming gig last year, and like I said, I was a fan of their message and a bit of a fan of their music, but watching it live and almost greeting at times and just feeling that energy and great band, man. So if everyone's not sure about Idols yet, watch them live when
I think a good one to watch, actually, if you don't know them, is their Glastonbury set that's up on YouTube from last year. I think I'd be surprised if anybody watched it and didn't get emotional. It's a great live performance, but actually the emotion involved is just it would get anybody, to be honest with you.
Yeah. That was the one I watched before, because I think that happened in June, and we seen them in August, and we watched that when it was the live stream from the iPlayer, and we're like, wow, yes, I'm right up for this now. And I think it is more emotional, because they're guys that people would have told them it's time to get a real job, just give it up, and they made it, and by the skin of their teeth. And, massive fan of them, so check that out. If we're going to end it now, I don't really care about the YouTube robots anymore, because we're still locked in. I'll deal with the YouTube robots tomorrow.
Okay.
So what's a good way to end the show for you with a song that you've been involved with that you're proud of?
You could probably play the Razor Gully Eat the Rat remix. And that's our project with Chuck D and DJ Lord from Public Enemy, and it's called Razor Gully Eat the Rat remix.
Yes, I've got it here, I think.
Yeah, and
hold on, I'll just bring it up on the screen to make sure it's the right one, and then you can. So it's this, that one, this one.
Yes, that's it. And that was a video we did with Chuck D and DJ Lord, like, so. It was cool. It was cool to do that.
Mate, it's the coolest thing I've actually heard anyone in this show. We've done about 70 shows since lockdown began, and we've done about 25 podcasts in the audio tip, and I've yet to hear anything cooler than doing a song with Chuck D. So you've got every right to be proud. And I'll bring up the name drop one more time, and then check out Capital 1212. Thank you so much for doing this tonight, man. It's been an absolute pleasure. And everyone check out. They've got such a great back catalogue of tunes. You'll find it on YouTube, and add Capital 1212 on Insta, Facebook, and Mixcloud. Get all that good stuff. And I appreciate you taking the time tonight, man.
It's been good fun. Thank you.
And I'll see the rest of you guys on. I think I'm going to take a couple of days off to do the audio podcast, but I'll see you on Monday for Jenny Falls. I'll see you on Tuesday for Local Legends. There's still space if any local legends want to get in. Any charities, independent businesses want to come on and tell us what they're doing, it's an open forum for you guys. Let's help you reach a bigger audience. And then Wednesday, we've got James Endicott signed all the bands that we've talked about tonight, or he was involved in the background, an absolute legend. And Thursday, we've got Dodgy, or at least Matthew Priest, who's a very funny guy. So, it's a big week ahead next week. And I think I'm going to add some more extra ones in, because I think I'm going to do one at 6 o'clock and one at 8 o'clock and just combine more shows over 4 days. So I've got 3 days to work on my music and stuff like that. So thank you to everyone, and thanks to Dave.
Thank you.
Let's take it away, man. All the best, mate.
What's up? Ain't gonna give it up. Came too far, gotta stand up. Against odds, know they gonna man up. Bring the noise, turn the band up. Thrown in the ring of 5-9, what is really my laws and the keys of life got me now realized. Gotta open up my eyes, coming from an open mind, hoping that I'm keeping mind that I got enough time. New world order got us drowning in the water. Lord, save our sons and daughters from the systematic slaughter. Free my mind, free my soul, free my body, everybody, cause the track got your back, so you better keep it wreck. Haters.
What you wanna do? You wanna test me? DJ stupid, gotta be out of your fucking mind.
World order got us drowning in the water. Lord, save my sons and daughters from the systematic slaughter. Free my mind, free my soul, free my body, everybody, cause the track got your back, so you better eat the rack. Telling all of y'all, more than some corner on the floor, so here we are, whether near or far, this is what I'm seeing. I'm talking about freeing human beings, build that's in the belt free, rats in the cell C, just suppose, I suppose, you seeing me, aka adversary, thought they had your back, only that corner got your back, gotta eat the rat. Drowning in the water, Lord, save our sons and daughters from the systematic slaughter. Free my mind, free my soul, free my body, everybody, cause the track got your back, so you better eat the rack. So here I am, back against the wall, I'm telling all of y'all, more than some corner on the floor, so here we are, whether near or far, this is what I'm seeing. I'm talking about freeing human beings, build that's in the belt free, rats in the cell C, just suppose, I suppose, you seeing me, aka adversary, thought they had your back, only that corner got your back, gotta eat the rat.
Outstanding. What a tune, man. What an absolute tune. Thanks to everyone who's tuned into the show. If you want to support us, this is the link, patreon.com/you call that radio. The more patrons we have, the bigger things and better things we can do. You can also do one-off donations at PayPal or Ko-fi.com as well. And just also, if you want to, Twitch is a thing. Well, hold on, I need to take that away. Oh no, I need to take the banner down first. Okay. Also, if you want to support us, another way is just by subscribing on YouTube. YouTube.com/you call that radio. And if you've been watching it on YouTube tonight, remember to hit the subscribe button and share it. That's a good way to support. Twitch is the best way to support right now because they don't cut us off for copyright violations or if we say the wrong word. So Twitch, and also if you get Amazon Prime, you can sign up, you can subscribe for free if you've already got Amazon Prime, and we get a couple of pounds and it doesn't cost you anything. So Twitch is an amazing way to support. But yeah, the whole show's powered by our Patreons. Thanks to Malfunction for all the graphics. This is You Call That Radio. We'll see you next week. From Monday onwards, we've got a massive lineup. It's going to be a belter next week. I'm really excited. And I'm going to add a few others in because I think what I want to do is just fill in, get as many shows done between Monday and Thursday so I can start getting back to making big money tunes. Those kind of money tunes that will make you, you know. Does that make sense? Thanks, Leo. You better mention David's podcast. Yes, tune into Universe 23 right now. Universe 23 right now with David Blair from Call the Mustard Dijon 5 will be doing some good stuff. Great show. Thanks, Angela. Great show. Thanks, Gordon. Fantastic. Thanks, Leo. I hope we've enjoyed the show and we will see you very, very soon. Much love. Stay safe.
You call that radio?
And then I see the disinfectant that knocks it out in a minute.
That's mad.
Is this a Netflix thing?
It's actually a podcast.
What the fuck's a podcast?
You know, it's kind of like a radio show.
Oh, that! Radio!
Yeah, exactly.
And is there a way we can do something like that? By injection inside or
Yeah, I think so because I think just paint in general because I think like my poem is in my painting.
No. Cut.